This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura RDX, $399 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield Home Security System guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla, not $24,000, $20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll. It is a Thursday. You know where we're at. We're at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. Feeling good. Feeling good. Bitcoin over 97,000, making its run back. Had an opportunity to take advantage of that 15% dip, a free 15%. I hope you did. By the way, it's nice to see that a lot of you still have like no idea what goes on in football. Like my man there, Christopher Chavez. Christopher, I gave you a little, I get it. Listen, those of you that are done with Tua, and I understand and all of that, you can't move on from Tua. Stop, I guess I have to keep repeating it because there's a lot of you that are really, well, you know what? Do you know what was the second most searched item on Google the day after the election? You know? Did Joe Biden drop out of the race? America's stupid. There's a lot of you that just aren't very smart. Think about that. So they really didn't even follow either candidate, didn't listen to them, didn't hear what they had to say or nothing like that. Next day after the election, the second most searched item, did Joe Biden drop out of the race? So when Christopher Chavez, said, oh, we've got to move on from Tua now. Well, no, dumbass, you can't, because the contract starts next year. So nobody's trading for a guy that is fragile and refuses to understand he's fragile. And he's constantly concussed and breaking down because he's stupid. Okay? Not because of anything else, because he's stupid. No one's trading for that, Chavez. Maybe you're part of the Chavez family where you in the ring too much and they hit you so many times. Maybe you're a baby from Chavez and you came out concussed. I'm not exactly sure, but I just want to save all of you from all of that. You don't like Tua. Fine. You don't believe in Tua. Fine. He's fragile. Fine. We got to move on from. There's no moving on. You're stuck at least 2 more years before you can even cut him. The Browns can't cut Watson. And that thing's all guaranteed. You haven't even given him any of his guaranteed money yet. So, dude, relax. You're stuck like Chuck. You're supposed to say, oh, shit, we're stuck with Tua for a few years. And that's it. You better hope they can find the hell of a backup. And they know they've got to find a hell of a backup, by the way. They know they've got to find a hell of a backup because Tua refuses to learn. That's all. I love the kid as a passer. You can win with him as a passer. You can't win with this one. He has no future in this league. If he wants to continue to run into people or dive head first or try to tackle people, I mean, the goofball gets a knee in the helmet. So nobody's trading for that. So you're not moving on from him. The contract hasn't started for him. It hasn't started for Waddle. I mean, you just gave these contracts out. You just gave Jalen Ramsey a new contract. you're not moving. The only one is Chubb, because now you're in year 3 of that contract. That's different. Now coming in 2025 is year 3. Now you've got flexibility in a window to get out on June 1st to open up a bunch of cap space. You're going to need it, unfortunately. It's just the way it goes. But you've developed chops, so you've got that. So, whatever. The Andrew Van Ginkel thing just kills it all, because you could have had Van Ginkel. Well, you wouldn't have gotten Chop probably. You wouldn't have drafted Chop. You would have kept. If you would have paid Van Ginkel, you wouldn't have gotten Chop. So it's either or. Van Ginkel's fantastic. He's a Pro Bowler, but he's 29. So he doesn't have, the future that Chop has. So there's kind of a give and take there, and I can understand that. You couldn't have both. But bottom line is, for those of you out there that you don't like Tua like Chavez, just educate yourself. There's no trading of him. None. There's no moving on from him. There's no cutting him. There's no nothing. He's your quarterback next year, whether you like it or not. That's all. I just want you to know. So every time any of you guys out there, they got to cut that guy. Oh, they got to trade. No, you sound stupid. You don't understand the business of it. Okay? Maybe you've been dropped, on the floor too many times as a kid, like Chavez, because he had boxing parents. They had gloves. They couldn't hold the kid properly. So Cesar would have gloves on when he would hold baby Chavez. So that's probably why baby Chavez, says things like that, because he was dropped a lot. Think about it. Gloves. They're trying to hold the kid with gloves. It's just, it doesn't work out. So these are things that, they happen. What can we tell you, folks? But we're here to provide the information for you. How you doing, Sean? Happy New Year. And Happy New Year to you all out there, by the way. Hope you guys had a nice, safe one, because unfortunately it was not a very good 36 hours here. It was pretty disgusting what's gone on in this country. Unfortunately, prayers to everything that's happened, man. Jesus Christ. Crazy stuff. So how you doing, man?
No, good. I want to say Happy New Year to you, the listeners, and everyone that sent out Happy New Year. Appreciate you all.
Yes, and we appreciate you all out there. Thank you. Let me do don't forget, folks, you got right there, Hialeah Park. You got the $100 no regret first bet. It is still there while it lasts. Take advantage. And if you haven't opened an account, use that QR code right there on our screen. Go to the Hialeah Park website. And remember, if you happen to have a Hard Rock account, just use a different phone number or email. When you open it up, make your bet, and you get your $100 no regret, and you are in. All right. Steve Calabro will be by here in hour number 2. He'll give us the Wise Guys picks. So we'll have a little fun with Steve. Of course, you can always make a donation to the show. Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal. Sean will show you the different QR codes for Cash App or Venmo. The address is Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that. And you can also make a donation on PayPal and send in your comments, questions, insults. True Fin Fan, number 1 there says more bad news should be the name of this franchise, something like the Miami More Bad News and Choking Dolphins. Long but accurate. True. Captain Saki, John Gary. Let's see. Yeah, team does keep falling forward. Yes, sir. Oscar Rojas doesn't. Yes, the Dolphins have not been forthcoming whatsoever with their injury reports. If I'm a gambler, I would not trust this team at all. I wouldn't trust the NFL in general, period. Steve Chapman, Jay Gelfin is in the house. Reminding everybody to subscribe and please smash the hell out of the like button. All right, we got already over 150, only 42 likes. So let's go. Let's pick it up. Gus 1388. Jeff is in Long Island, Costa Nostra. Tua's unavailability becoming a liability. Yes, sir. 90 miles from Cuba. Chad is in the house. St. Michael, the window to move on from Tua is closed. Woo, I got a smart fan out there. He's fragile as glass and has ridiculous contract. No one's trading for him with this contract and the fact that he is one concussion away from being a vegetable. The vegetable part, I get it. He added a little bit of extra color to the whole thing. But see, maybe that's why he's a Saint. Because, he's on the right track. See, I like smart fans. I really enjoy smart fans that really get what's going on instead of saying the stupid shit and they don't really understand. Like, oh, wait a minute. We already screwed up. We gave him the contract. We can't move on from him. We're stuck. Oh, no, somebody will trade for him. Of course, because you're complaining about him because he's stupid and he wants to run into people and concuss himself and tries to tackle people. And, he started a chase after the interception. He started. And then he finally decided, first of all, I'm never going to catch him.
That should have been the first thing he knew.
That's what really was the backbreaker.
I think
the moron, if he could catch him.
Yeah. The problem was the guy was already leaving him behind as he was trying to get to full speed, and he was like,
I love Tua, dude.
But then you also set yourself up for blocks.
Right.
As you start running after him, somebody's going to clean your clock.
Did you see my tweet today on the Kyron Williams thing?
No, I did not.
Go check it out. Pull it up for the folks. Exactly. Look at what I tweeted out about Tua. So but St. Michael, thank you, bro. You're like one of those people that keep me going doing this. That like there's some of you out there that have intelligence. So I'm actually broadcasting to a few of you out there that actually really know what the hell's going on and understand. And don't just stand there and say stupid shit that you like, Oh, my God. There we go. Ty in the Bronx is in. I am him. There we go. We need to trade up in the draft and get a QB and get rid of Tua. There you go. You can't get rid of Tua. But again, stupid people are stupid people, and you'll have stupid people. Ray Grullon, Happy New Year to you and yours. Oh, I caught the Hendrix documentary from 73, man. He was a badass playing that guitar. Gone way too soon. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we lost him at 27. It's like ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's not fair. And so ahead of his time, bro. So ahead of his time. Skylar Tipton, he's the man. For me, he's the man. And I don't, and anybody tells me Eddie, I don't mind and all that, but Jimmy is, Van Halen for me is like 1B, but I just think Jimmy, what he was doing, it's what I say about the Beatles. Okay. There's a lot of people and younger people and all of that, the Beatles, they're overrated, this, that. No. They're not overrated. They're incredibly still underrated. And I explain this all the time because you have to think about this. What the Beatles did, what the Beach Boys did, what Kraftwerk did, what Black Sabbath did. Nobody had done that before. There was nothing to feed off of that. That came fresh from the memory banks. You created that shit out of nowhere. It's a lot easier for rock bands to create their music when they're coming off of the Beatles and then the Stones and the Who and so once the Godfathers are in place, then everybody has influences and they can build off of that. But the Beach Boys didn't have an influence and Kraftwerk didn't have an influence and the Beatles didn't have an influence. They are the start of that's where you lit the fuse. So somebody decided, okay, this is going to be a genre of music and we're going to make it. You know what I'm saying? And that's amazing. And to do it at a point where There wasn't anything like that. That's why, you have to give. And then Jimi Hendrix comes along, and nobody had played the guitar like that dude. And then what he did then is still being done now. That's why when we talk about Sid Gilman for the Chargers, or we talk about Hank Stram for the Chiefs, you better put them in the upper echelon of all-time great coaches. Better than most everybody that's existed since then. Why? Because without them, they don't exist. And Bill Belichick will be the first to tell you about Sid Gilman. It's like they were decades ahead of everybody else. They came in and transformed and changed football. They changed everything about the offensive game. Same thing for the Beatles, same thing for Hendrix. So, it's just kind of, sometimes you have to take a step back, put yourself in that position, that perspective, in that context, and understand what was going on. Okay? Because it's a lot easier to make rap now thanks to Sugar Hill and Run DMC and Snoop and, and everybody else that packed in on it. They've all then gone off of that. You know what I'm saying? But it takes Sugar Hill and God, what's this guy's name that should get a ton of credit from back in the day? Marley something. Help me out, man. Somebody help me out that really knows rap. Marley something. God, he's legend. But people like that, without them, the rap doesn't start. Now, rap needed craft work, So, it kind of goes, they were still building off of craft work, because everybody, disco and rap and all that, were building off of craft work. That's why Melly Mel, thank you. No, Kumo D's after, bro. Kumo D's after. We're talking about the people that really establish rap. Melly Mel are those are the kind of people that establish rap. Anyway, so you got to be a pioneer. You got to have vision. You imagine the vision that Hendrix had doing the shit he was doing. Oh my God. Yeah. Well worth it. So I'm glad you saw it. Yes, sir. What were you going to say? No, Melly Mel. That's him. Well, which one?
I just put in who are the pioneers of rap. Right. It was DJ Kool Herc, okay, Grandmaster Flash,
yes,
and Africa
Bambaataa. Yeah.
Those are the three that came.
Yeah, okay. Definitely. No, they're all there.
They're considered the holy trinity.
Slick Rick is in there probably somewhere. Yeah, definitely. I can see all those. No, for sure. But that's my point, that before them there was nothing, and so they created that genre out of nowhere. And who would think that rap would become what it is now? Not at all. That's just kind of the way it is. So that's why when you look at Hendrix, or you look at or James Brown, are you fucking kidding me? Who the hell is? Nobody can perform like that. Nobody brought the music, the funk like that dude. You know what I'm saying? The pioneers are the pioneers. These people had no one in front of them to feed off of. They created Little Richard, obviously James Brown and Little Richard and all that kind of stuff, but a little bit different, obviously. But again, it's just, these are people that just kind of they decided they were going to do this way, and nobody had done it this way. Prince started, coming off of, if I'm talking about Little Richard and James Brown and all that, he kind of had elements of that, and then went his own way, and he created his own, style, of course, but fed off of the originals. So it just, you got to give those kind of people credit, man. Jimi Hendrix had the kind of vision that it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Skylar Tipton, Super Boom Shack. Tell Freddie in the casino he owes me $20.
Jamesville, I hope you guys loaded up during the Bitcoin. Oh, I did. I got me at 90, what is it, like 2 or 3, 4, and 5, I think, right around there. That's where I kind of ended up buying all the entire time during this dip. And enjoyed it. So I'm good. We're at 108, bro. We're going to blow past 108. Are you kidding me? That's what I do. And then I'll wait till you go past 108 and take off to 124, 130, 140. And then you'll have another bit of another correction, 10, 15, 20. And then that's when I start chiming in again. And that's it. So we're good. Sheba Army Brat, what are tariffs? What's the most searched after the election? Yeah, the tariffs. Yeah, it's just it's funny, bro. We're such a lazy country. It's not even funny. Brian Landis is in. Seems like Brian Flores was right, and you guys trashed him for saying nice. Brian Flores he's a defensive coordinator, bro. That's it. That's what he is. Nothing else. And he's done a great job as a defensive coordinator. He's nothing more than that, dude. He's a backstabber. He doesn't even know what a quarterback is. Can't even build an offensive staff. And he lost all the tough games. In his last year, he lost all the tough games in the first half of the season and then won all the shitty games in the back end. It's just it's because this is unsatisfying and it's been unsuccessful. Then you create some kind of oasis that didn't exist with the other guy. You know what I mean? So, but whatever. I see it all the time. Neither guy was the answer. Going after Arch Manning in 2027. Well, if you bring back Mike McDaniel, that could happen. Brian the Snitch Flores. Yep. Draft Penn State QB Drew Allaire and groom him for a few years. Might be the best QB no one is talking about. Daniel Berry is in. AJR. Tony B. Quite a coincidence that his only injury-free year was the contract year. No, it was the only year that he decided to play the right way. The way I said he had to play the game. But, he got his money, and then he got cute, and now he burned his whole team. The only thing I don't like is don't give me this bullshit about, I left my team out to dry, and then you do the diving shit. You're full of crap, dude. And that's the part that I don't understand that. He should be smart enough to know who he is, and he doesn't figure it out, which is really ignorant. Josh, what up? And Sean, Happy New Year. Wish you the best. Thank you. Fins up. All right. May not happen for a while. Chris Duquette is smashing it. Zach Lesnar is in the house. Alexis Torres. Are you going up to New Jersey for the Dolphins game? Hell no. Obviously, Alexis has not been tuning into the show. I wish a fellow lefty would save my Dolphins. I thought was Tua. Now I doubt it. Well, that's because he doesn't want to. Tua brings all of this on to himself, not anybody else. He's the one that chooses to do stupid things with his body. How serious do I think the hip injury is? I don't think it's anything like that. I think it's enough that it's bothering him for now. He's unathletic and stupid. So you should not put somebody that's unathletic and stupid out on the field. You can't control the stupid. You can at least control the injury. So put him on the shelf. Your season's done. You're not going to the playoffs. So, this is just some silliness that that you people are putting yourselves through. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I get writers. They've got to write this garbage, and they've got to, whatever. I'm not going with all that stuff. He's the front office. Trust me, everybody on the top, they know what he is now, and they're all very disappointed. Okay? They're very disappointed that he doesn't take care of himself. And they know that they're up Schitt's Creek without a paddle, and they got to find another quarterback. Now, they got to find a backup quarterback. That's not going to be easy, ladies and gentlemen, to find a backup quarterback. Now the Browns, you saw the Jeremy Fowler report. Kirk Cousins might have a chance to start there. The rapist, alleged rapist, whatever, has completely lost his mojo. You all have seen it. So they desperately need a quarterback. They'll happily take Kirk Cousins now at this point. So that's going to be harder for Miami. What backup quarterback is going to come down here that's going to save your season? None. There is no backup quarterback that's going to save your season. Go ahead.
Yeah, not that there's a backup that would save it, but also when you watch how, and I get it, there's not like top names being put in as backup quarterbacks. Nobody succeeded in this offense other than Tua.
Right.
So why would you come here for that?
And this coach. Why would you want to play for this coach? The guy can't get you plays in on time. You're going to know that as a quarterback. Okay, so he's going to screw me constantly because by the time he gets a play and I got to run it, I can't even watch the defense set. I can't counter it. I can't play any chess. So you look at it that you don't have a great offense. Well, you can fix your line because you have your tackles and your center. You got to fix your guards. That can be fixed actually. But do you commit to the run? No. And if you're a quarterback, you're like, okay. And then Tyreek Hill. Stupid deal. You guaranteed him money. Now you're stuck with him another year and he's losing his ability. He's not nearly the same player he was a couple of years ago because, of course, the mileage, and now he got his money, and, he got comfortable. And then you're stuck with Mike McDaniel. So I don't understand the fantasy that some of you live in. I really don't. Oh, let's get rid of Tua. You can't, dumbass. You're stuck with him. Oh, let's go trade him and sign the best quarterback available. Can't do that either. Don't have that flexibility. Nobody will want Tua. Okay, let's draft in the first round. Really? Do you see where you're picking now? And you'll win on Sunday. So you're going to pick in the late teens, early 20s like we thought you would. And what quarterback's going to last there? Young quarterback. And you're going to start him right away in this system? No, you're not. So he's not going to save your season. And then what backup is out there available that could save your season? There's none. If they would be available, they would end up being a starter somewhere. They wouldn't be available to anybody. That's why, it's ridiculous. And some of you live in this fantasy land that why do you torture yourself? I don't get it. You just want to torture yourself about this. We are screwed at the quarterback position. The only way you find light at the end of the tunnel is if Tua wants to play with his head, like his intelligence, not to use it physically. It's up to him now, dude. If he wants to keep playing stupid, he's got another 2 years left and he'll be out of football because he'll be so screwed up and injured and everything. And then they'll be able to get out of it in 2 years and take a cap hit in that third year. That's brutal, but at least they'll be able to move on. So that's your hope. There's no quarterback that's saving you next year. None. None of them will be available. Okay? Unless you tell me that they took care of their guards or defensive tackles early in the draft and they took some kid in the 4th or 5th round, Tua gets injured and he comes in and he becomes the shock of the world and he goes out there. That's it. That's like your saving grace. Your a veteran backup is not going to be available. Joe Flacco's not saving your season if he becomes available, dude. Did he save anybody's season this year or no? And last year they saved it because their running game was unstoppable. Unstoppable. Which I think it's been kind of a theme I keep talking about here on the show, That if you have a running game, it really sets everything up for you. But some people still don't, including the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, seems to not understand. The guy that was a run coordinator, by the way, doesn't seem to understand that. So you guys need, and ladies out there, you need to kind of readjust your thinking for 2025. Okay? It's Tua or bust. That's it. There'll be no other answer. There is no other option. They are too salary cap strapped. Plus, once that salary kicks in, which is next year, nobody can have two quarterbacks on a roster, especially when you're paying two receivers, which was not the right move. Okay? And most of you wanted Tyreek back, and you wanted to pay him, so those of you that wanted Tyreek back, I wouldn't be surprised if you're the ones that were searching, did Joe Biden drop out of the race? Amanda Medeiros, thank you for the love on the super chat. Big O, I have a few ETH. You see it as 10K? Yes, I do. I think it'll be a 10K coin. Yes, I do. Yes. My God. They BlackRock and Fidelity bought how much was it? I think it was, let me see. I have my my last Crypto Bro show. And I think they bought somewhere in the neighborhood. Here it is. Last week, $342 million of ETH. BlackRock and Fidelity. The ETH ETFs are going to explode now. Once the regulations get in place, which I would imagine within the first 3 to 6 months of Trump taking over, they will have crypto regulations in place. And then that's when the Solana ETF, especially the ETH ETFs, are, and then XRP's coming. Those are all going to take off, and then that'll juice Ethereum. Then when you get the regulations in, all of these people that are buying Bitcoin will now move over to ETH also. So Ethereum is going to be a powerhouse of all powerhouses. Not that I am a financial advisor by any stretch. I'm an idiot that loves crypto. Just want you to know that, okay? Amanda, I don't know anything about this. I mean, I've only been talking about ETH since it was $900 and $1,000, and, you know, it's $3,000 now. So I don't know anything about this, okay? I've been telling you about Bitcoin since it was at 16 and 17,000, and we're, you know, back over to 100. I don't know anything about this stuff, okay? Talked to you about Hedera when it was down at 4 and 5, 6 cents. It's up to 30 cents now. I don't know anything about this kind of stuff. Remember, I know nothing. I'm an idiot. But this idiot thinks that Ethereum could easily hit 10,000 in this bull run. And this idiot thinks that Ethereum will become even more powerful as time goes on. So I wouldn't sell all my ETH either. I would hang on to it for long-term purposes. That's just me. But what do I know? What else do we have? Big O, hear me out. We are stuck with Tyreek too. Ain't no one taking him either. No, sir. They ain't trading for a guy with 47 kids. And downhill talent, baby. Because that talent is going downhill. I don't think anybody's replaced. I don't think they're making any changes this year. I think they're going to keep them all together, bring them all back, and then that will sink or swim them next year. I think next year is the make or break year. This whole thing, okay, so let's address the elephant in the room, because what started it was my buddy Albert Breer, and he was on with Rich Eisen. And I've known Albert for 20 years. He's a good dude, very good reporter. And he threw out there, it was kind of like a little thing at the back end. They were talking about Shane Steichen, and they were talking about Anthony Richardson, and they were talking about, you know, obviously they needed, they love the head coach. And then Chris Ballard's been there for 8 years, but no playoffs. It's kind of funny. Chris Ballard's been there, no 8 years, 1 playoff. one playoff. And Mike McDaniel is a guy that I don't like, but he, technically can almost make a third playoff in a row, actually. You know what I mean? It's funny how we view things differently. But anyway, and so towards the end of that comment, he talked about Ballard and another GM that could be in hot water.
I think that's an open question. I would say the people I've talked to, it sounds more like general manager might be a question there rather than coach. I do think they really like Shane Steichen. I think Chris Ballard on balance has done a pretty good job there, but he's had 8 years and they've only been in the playoffs twice. So, do they look at it and say, okay, Shane Steichen, you can bring in your own guy. Do you bring in, maybe somebody like Ian Cunningham from Chicago, who you were with in Philadelphia, and we build it around the two of you? I think there are a lot of those sorts of discussions happening right now. Now, again, like I would say Indianapolis and Miami are the two where I think the coaches are relatively safe, but the general managers might be, there might be some discussions about the future of the general manager in this place.
Okay, and here's where I'm going to disagree on this. They both got new contracts, the general manager and the coach. The general manager has done a better job, way better job than the coach. But the general manager is responsible for the coach. And then some of the moves that have not worked out, obviously. Okay, so that is where I think they're going to bring them all back. He's got plenty of money. You know that guy, Stephen Ross? Money's not an issue. But I think they're going to give all of them one more chance. And then you see a complete house cleaning next year if everything fails. And then the person that comes in will inherit all the other contracts. And then they'll have to make a decision, but they will not inherit the decision of the coach or the general manager, vice versa. I think they're done with the human Jenga stuff. So to take out the general manager and put in another general manager to have to inherit everything, that general manager has to inherit all that, and then that goes on their resume, which they don't deserve it. So it's kind of a whole thing that you need to kind of make a whole change if you're going to do it. That's not going to happen this year. You gave the quarterback the new contract. You gave Jalen Ramsey. You gave Waddle. You gave McDaniel. You gave Chris Greer, Marvin Allen, Reggie McKenzie, the entire front office new contracts. It just, you would have to re-sign so many different people and so many different changes. And when you make a change in the general manager department, you're going to change right after the draft. You're going to have to change a whole bunch of contracts come up too. So I'm telling you, I like Albert Breer a lot. I have total respect for him, know him very well. I could call him and get him on the damn show if I wanted to. I disagree here. On this one, I think they're keeping everybody together, but it's not a bad thing for you guys. It's a good thing because you're going to get closure one way or the other. They either swim and figure it out next year and have success and win a playoff game, or they sink and they wash away everything except the players because you just can't get rid of certain contracts for a couple years. It's just the way it is. It's just the way the system is. You can't do anything about that. You know what I'm saying? It's just stuck like Chuck, like I'm telling you. So that's the way you have to look at it, unfortunately. So for next year, that's why this whole stupidity, get rid of Tua, trade him. None of that's going to happen. None of that is going to happen. Nobody's trading. He ruined his value. Kind of like what Jimmy Butler's doing. Same thing. Jimmy Butler, you watched it last night. I mean, how was that? How was that effort last night? Like, I get it. They didn't really need it, but he cruised. And while he cruises and doesn't prove that he can stay healthy, how does he create value for himself? Same thing. So the way if Tua would play like he played last year again this year, his trade value would have been through the roof, even with a new contract. But again, you're not going to trade him at that point because he would have been healthy for 2 straight years, played the right way. This year, he decided to think he's some football player or something stupid like that. What a dumbass. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And of course, you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Steve M. Hateful Steve is in the house with a Venmo. He says, "Oh, I almost drove off the road when I heard Perk on his YouTube show say that Tua's injuries have been unlucky and he shouldn't change anything about his game." I didn't see that, but if he said that, that's absolutely insanity. Okay? Absolute insanity. That makes no sense. Thank you, Hateful Steve. I appreciate you, brother. Ho Yoon, thank you, sir. Happy New Year. Thank you for the donation on Venmo, Cash App, or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App, or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Use the QR codes that we got there. Also for PayPal, too, is another way you can do it. Hateful Steve is back again. Damn, another one. Thank you, Hateful Steve. Appreciate you big time. He goes, "Oh, I agree that no backup is going to help us if Tua goes down next year. That's why I'd like to draft a young QB and let him grow under Tua for a couple of years. It worked well for Jordan Love, so let's try it." Dude, it's worked well for Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love. They have, well, I mean, you and I grew up with that, Steve. But the new way is, man, sink or swim, and it's really hard. The old way, it just seems like it's much better to groom a guy, give him a couple of years to learn. And, man, it's been so good for Green Bay every time, dude.
I know this isn't the exact same thing, but look what Bryce Young, the difference. Once he got benched and he sat there and got a chance, instead of getting thrown to the wolves, he got a chance to kind of decipher the game a little bit more. And again, still not world beater, but he's come back a lot better than what he looked, because he looked like he couldn't play football anymore. Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah. Got a chance to sit there and look at the game. And now,
CJ Stroud, bro.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud's getting his ass kicked this year. He's learning a lesson, right? And now next year, the kid has to play chess, and he has to counter, and we'll see if he can counter. You know what I'm saying? That happens. You come on this scene, you shock them and all that, and it's just going to be. Now, Hateful Steve is onto something. That's the only way you can kind of might be able to get out of it. But here's the problem, Hateful Steve. You're not going to be able to get in the first round, because then you'll be reaching. You're not really getting. So you're getting, like I said, it's got to be a third or fourth, fifth round guy that has physical potential but is raw. And then you develop him over the next couple of years. And then you hope that but you're still going to have to go out and get some kind of a veteran to be a third guy there. So get your developmental guy. I agree with you, because that way it doesn't cost you much. It doesn't cost you anything. It's a third or fourth rounder, and you have 4 years to develop them just in case something happens to Tua. Yeah, I can see something like that. Yeah, that's the way it would work. Thank you, sir. As always, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Brian Radke. Thank you, sir, on Cash App. Very nice of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love for the donation. All right, all right, all right. Let me see. What else? Okay. All right, what else? Where is Bitcoin right now? 97.3. Okay, not bad. Not bad. Nice movement. Gene Simmons has said more than once that they wanted to be the Beatles. Nothing more needs to be said. Bro, the Beatles, say whatever you want, but it's to just come up with that music out of nowhere, because there is nothing like it before you. That's genius, beyond genius. And that's the way you have to look at it. James Brown is genius beyond genius. Some people just have that vision that they're going to say, no, this is music. This is how you entertain. And then they go out and do something that no one has ever done, and and that's what that becomes the genre. That becomes the entertainer. Whether it's Michael Jackson and moonwalking, whatever it is, David Lee Roth with swords and flying around in the air and all that. For those of you that, I don't know if you're young, you have no idea, but if you could find videos of David Lee Roth live on stage with swords and staffs and and high kicks, and because he's a black belt in karate and all that back in the day. Like, he brought an athleticism to the show. You know what I'm saying? And that's something. Everybody has their thing, you know, and that's, you kind of find your niche on what you are, you know. And Alice Cooper, his shock type of style, you know, that will become. And Alice has talked about it, how he was a vaudeville fan, so he wanted to bring like a sense of vaudeville to his shows, you know. Yeah, all these people just they deserve the love for having the vision and going out there and doing things that nobody else had done before and freak people out. Shout out to Kool and the Gang, Foreigner, Frampton, getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame about damn time. I like it. I like it. You're missing the king. There you go. Elvis Presley shaking the hips, freaking people out. I mean, it was like, oh my God, you can't let girls watch. You can't put it on TV and all that. Yeah, he was shocking the world. Exactly. All of that stuff, man. These are people that did stuff before anybody else and had the balls, the guts to go out there and do it. So, yeah. Let's see what else. Trends. Europe Express. Blackmore's the king. No one could ever even think of playing what Richie was doing 50 years ago. Yep. I have no problem with Richie Blackmore and the violin string. What else do we have? George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, of course. There you go. That's, again, doing shit that nobody had ever done before. Good job, guys. Good job. Good job. Yeah, let's see. Dolphins are playing in Madrid. LOL. Stephen Ross, I bet, sells the home game. Are they? Are they playing in Madrid? Is that true?
There's been talk that they're going to be in Madrid. I don't know that. I haven't seen anything yet.
Yeah. I love Casey and the Sunshine Band. Love it. Pure. I'm a Hialeah guy. So, you know, it's funny. I met Casey last week. It's funny that you mentioned that. I didn't get to talk to him. I just said hi. He was eating with a friend of mine at Council Oak. And I was there for the Maroon 5 concert. And by the way, fantastic concert. And Adam Levine, by the way, master jammer on the guitar, picking and finger picking. Adam, nice job, dude. Anyway, very good show on Maroon 5. Second time I see him, very, very good. So I went to I was going to meet a friend of mine at Council Oak before the concert. And a buddy of mine is waving me down, and he's a friend of mine for over 40 years. We went to high school together, and he's been a guitarist, and he's bands and all kinds of stuff. So I go to the table, and he introduces me to everybody, and he goes, "Oh, KC," and I look at him, and I look at my buddy, and I go, "The KC?" And he goes, "Yeah." And I just looked at him, and I said, and I went like this, you know. And he said, thank you and all that. So I you know, they were eating. I'm not going to bother them, you know, but my buddy called me over to say hi. And so we were talking. And so it's funny that you bring it up, but I got to meet KC actually last week in the Maroon 5 concert. So that was actually pretty cool. And it was a treat for me because he's a good guy. I still remember the day that he's it's debuting. Please don't go. Don't go. And I'm at Midway Skating Center, okay, to throw you back. This is right in front of Midway Mall. And Midway was kind of new in those days because Tropical West was first and Tropical North. Then Midway came. And Midway was a small rink. And it was like a domino effect. If somebody fell, I mean, we broke every fire code there could be in that place. There was no way they were following fire codes in Midway Skating Center. No effing way. So KC decides to, in that year where he's debuting Please Don't Go, to hold a concert at Midway Skating Center. This is, please tell me, Please Don't Go, what year it came out. I want to say it's 77, 78, maybe. I don't know, maybe. Did it get to 79? I don't know, somewhere like that. But we're at Midway Skating Center. And he's singing that, and that place is going nuts. The girls are going nuts. Guys are going nuts because they want to pick up the girls. It was fun. It was fun. 79, huh? 79. There you go. So I'm a 13-year-old punk in 79 skating at Midway Skating Center, trying to find some girls. So that's one of my many KC stories, because I've seen KC several times, but that was my first time ever seeing KC and the Sunshine Band in concert. Yes, sir.
Just some more. In October, they did send out a thing to inform season ticket holders that one of their home 9 games will be played outside of the United States. And them and the Bears are the only linked franchises to Spain.
España.
And Spain will host its first ever regular season game at the home of Real Madrid next season. So I guess that's how everybody's linking this all together.
I think we have to do a GoFundMe for that for us. Well, yo soy España. Yo soy Basco. My people are from the mountains. That's my background. Suaray is Basco. So I'll be Spaniard. I should go to that game. Damn. Barcelona's not even going to be playing that same week, are they? Don't tell me that, because that's my team. I'm a Barcelona guy, I'm an Arsenal guy, and obviously Inter Miami. Those are my 3 football clubs. Okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, we don't even have a date yet. Yeah, exactly. We don't even know. So, yeah. So we wouldn't know. Okay. All right. Neither Flores or McDaniel is the answer, but they do have one common denominator. That's Greer. He needs to go on Monday. No, it's not going to happen, Justin. Big O, you can call us stupid fans, but people like you that have connections with the team say utter nonsense like Tua's elite and influence the team to keep him. I bet you wanted Miami to draft him. I bet I didn't. I bet I said Tristan Wirfs. I bet if you go over there and check the video, I said, you can draft Tua, but he's going to have an injury history. He can play the game, but he's injury prone. I'd take Tristan Wirfs. See, that's the problem. I am him. You are him. The idiot that runs his mouth and doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. You are him. But if you had facts, then you would know. And the video's there. That's the beauty of this platform. It's been out long enough for Tua's draft. Go look at it. You can go find it. I say he's injury prone. His body, I wouldn't have drafted him. But hey, I have no problem with him playing. He can throw the ball. But if he's going to do what he's doing, he has no chance at surviving because he doesn't have the body. I wouldn't have drafted him or Herbert. I would have drafted Tristan Wirfs. And he's been an all-pro tackle his entire career. You are him. You are that idiot that runs your mouth without having the information. Okay? They drafted him, so I said, hey, I like the kid. He can throw the ball. Now, he's got an injury history, and that's just the way it goes. The video's there, dude. We didn't pull it or anything. It's there. None of my videos are pulled. Everything I've said is there. And I'm pretty good at remembering what I said. I mean, ask Frankie Fresco, how many times do I correct him on what he thinks I said, and then I have to correct him on, no, Frankie, this is what I actually said. And then he has to go back and, oh, yeah, that's exactly what you said. And I've done that how many times to Frankie? A few times. So, make sure you have context. Make sure you have all the information, all the proof. I said Tristan Wirfs. That's who I would have taken. Boring pick, but that motherfucker would have been here for 10 years, all pro every year. So, whatever you want, dude. But, I run my mouth, bro. I say all kinds of crazy shit on this show that really never happens. Yep, I'm the most inaccurate person in sports in South Florida. Yep, that's me. You got me. You've pinpointed me, bro. You nailed it. Ocala Joe. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you for the love on Cash App. A little donation to the Crypto Jester. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. Let's see. You know you suck when you get 0 Pro Bowlers. You know what? They deserve, well, Sealer deserves a Pro Bowl, but damn it. You know, it's kind of tough at that position. Let's see. What backup QB will come when they see this offensive line they're dealing with? Oh, man. I just don't think there's a lot anyways, Rosendo. There's just that department is nobody's saving your season, dude. Nobody. So if Tua doesn't screw his head on right and he keeps doing all this stupid shit, we're screwed, man. We're screwed. And okay, let me get into this because I needed to get into because it says the highlight on the thing. It says it could be very hard for the Miami Dolphins to win in 2025 if this happens. Okay. First of all, you all know I'm not a believer in Mike McDaniel as it is. So, but he's won more than he's lost, right? So that's pretty good for him at least. You know what I'm saying? I think it's basically the talent he's had has helped him get to where he's at. It's not really that he's this phenomenal coach. In fact, I think he holds the team back constantly. I think they could be much better with a better coach. It is what it is. That's the case. So let me ask you something. You got a guy that has done a phenomenal job of coaching on defense with no pass rush whatsoever. At all. At all. His top 2 pass rushers have been absent the entire season. Even what Jalen Phillips played, it wasn't, he flashed, but you know, that's still not the Jalen Phillips you could really get. So he didn't really have that luxury because you didn't have a full, healthy Jalen Phillips that can get all the reps you need and all that, right? And you certainly you're not having Chubb at all this season. So it is what it is. So you've been out with, and then you had a rookie pass rusher to be your like number 1 and your secondary. Holland has played like dog shit. Let's just call it like we see it. I love Javon Holland. I'm a huge Javon Holland fan. But as you all know, the last 2 years, since those 2 knee injuries last year, something happened to Javon. And I don't know if it's health. I don't know if it's something permanent. I have no idea, but he's not himself. And the Jordan Poyer signing has been an absolute waste. And yet, his defense is still right in the top 10, isn't it? In yards allowed and in points and something like that or something stupid. He's got like some crazy stats that he shouldn't have. He carries himself like a head coach. He carries himself better than the head coach. And he has to also look at the situation for himself and say, you know, he's not going to turn down any head coaching job that he could possibly get. But if I'm a team, since we're already going to screw this up, we can't give Vrabel, which you all know what I wanted to do after the Colts because I gave up on the season there. I told you, fire his ass there, bring Vrabel in, and let him assess the rest of the season, as you all know. And that's what I would have done, but they're not going to do that. Okay, so now we're screwed. What if you also lose Anthony Weaver for next year? How do you make up for that now? Because all of a sudden, under your tenure, you're going to have 3 different defensive coordinators going to go with 4 and 4 years. You're not going to. Oh, and by the way, you're on the hot seat, basically. And everybody knows it. No matter what, even if you just got a contract and you know, next year, the owner's going to shit can you if you don't get it done. You have a quarterback that refuses to play intelligently. Refuses. This is by choice. This is crazy shit. And then you've got your GM on the hot seat, because obviously everybody's got to be on the hot seat after this season. Oh, and by the way, I think I predicted that last year. I'm sorry. Did I not predict that this year would put McDaniel, that this would be the hot seat year that puts him on the... Damn. I think I said that all last year. That I didn't believe in this guy. That next year, and this will put him on the hot seat. Damn, bro. I got to tell you, man. I got to stop nailing all these predictions. Tristan Wirfs. So you lose Weaver. I don't think you replace him. I think you get a lesser defensive coordinator. I think you're stuck with promoting from within, and you have no idea. That guy's head coach material. So you're going to miss out on Vrabel because you're done with Vrabel. He's going to have the pick of the litter now. Everybody will want Vrabel. Okay? So you're not going to get Vrabel. You're not making a change. You're not making a change. You're going to miss out on Weaver. It was interesting when he said, well, my agent asked me, what are you doing to prepare for head coaching? Oh, I'm just preparing for the season. When you throw that out there, it's because your agent knows that you're going to get some head coaching, Plus, obviously, being a man of color, they got to go through the whole Rooney thing. So it's good for him to go through the process anyways, even if they're not maybe legitimate all the way around, but he's legit. If I'm a team that is looking to build with a young coach that has potential to be head coach material, that's the dude I want. I'm just telling you that if this happens, it just becomes so much harder to win because your offense is already disheveled. It's already inconsistent. It's already a problem with the guy that leads it because he can't even get a play in on time 3 years in. 3 years in, he still can't get a play in on time. And if you got to go into year 4 with a new defensive coordinator, probably a hire from within, because everybody knows you're on the hot seat, next year becomes even that much more difficult. Hour number 2 is next. We go with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with the one and only David Furones.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on the new 2025 Acura Integra, $289 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt and Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt and Rayom can help.
All rise, football fans, as the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welt and Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
Righty, there he is, ready for the hopium. All right. You're not selling this shit about Tua, right? You know he's out, right? Right?
Oh, I'm not selling any hopium on Tua playing. No. But I will sell hopium on the Dolphins getting the 2 results they need. Although I don't feel great about that second one, about the Chiefs coming through with the number 1 seed all secured. But there is hope. You got to have hope when it just comes down to week 18 and you only need one other result. I mean, teams have gotten in with a far more that they need to happen.
Seriously. I saw his. I think I saw his tweet. Yeah. Chiefs, Kevin Harlan. Oh, okay.
It was the Chiefs doing the call when what was it? The Chiefs needed the Dolphins, I think, to beat the Patriots
to get a first round bye.
So now Veronis was throwing out there that it's time for the Chiefs or for them to help us out.
Yeah,
the editors are loving the bullshit you're writing, bro.
Oh, I retweeted him.
Holy shit. You're like selling it, boy. You are selling that hopium.
I retweeted him. I said the hopium is strong with this one.
Yeah, definitely. Holy crap. Okay. All right. So we're counting on Carson Wentz to find his mojo. By the way, he is what an enigma, right? Because physically, that guy lacked nothing, bro. That guy would make plays that were so athletic, and the injuries and how that guy lost his mojo after those injuries. Wow, dude, like Carson Wentz, like really went, what's I'm trying to think of that baseball player from the Twins, Knobloch. Chuck
Knobloch.
No, it wasn't Knobloch. It was no, it was somebody else. Else.
Well, Knobloch had the yips with the Yankees.
He did have it. It was him. It was with the Yankees. Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah, he had already been with the Yankees for a while. Because he had some good seasons with them.
Yeah.
But are you thinking of someone else though?
Maybe it was Knobloch. Maybe I'm getting confused. It was
Knobloch. Did he have injuries too?
Yeah, Chuck Knobloch. Yeah, it was him. Yeah, it was him.
I knew he had
the other guy from the Cardinals also had the yips too, and he completely lost it too. Who?
Oh, was
Steve Sachs? Yeah, the syndrome. Yeah. Steve Sachs. Yeah, I remember that, man. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Carson Wentz. So the Dolphins' hopes lie on Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
Rick Ankiel is the guy. Yeah, that's him.
Rick Ankiel, yeah. He turned into an outfielder after he was a pitcher.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Ankiel is another guy. So, yeah, Wentz got the yips, and he's never been the same again. And then that's kind of what you're counting on now is this guy to kind of find his mojo again. But, I mean, I don't expect Chris Jones to play. I don't expect Travis Kelce to play. Right. I mean, they're going to hold out a bunch of their studs, dude, in this game, So, Denver needs this game. Denver must win. They have to win. You know what I'm saying? So I just and isn't Denver home also?
Yes, Denver's at home, and they came down to a blocked field goal at the end. The first time they met the Broncos, or the first time they met the Chiefs.
Yeah. So I mean, are you really high there from Colorado weed, or what's the deal?
Oh no, I mean look, they're 10.5-point underdogs. The Chiefs are for a reason, but. When you only need one other result, it's win and one other result. Then I mean, because the Dolphins also got the luck of the Colts losing, and they were eliminated just last week when they had the Colts had the Giants and they had the Jaguars this week, where it was tough to find that Colts loss that the Dolphins would have needed too. So I mean, really, when you just need one other result, I mean, it's there. Just. I know that one result will be tough to imagine when the Chiefs aren't going to be playing very many key players.
In the end, bro, it would be catastrophically stupid by the Miami Dolphins to play an unathletic, injured quarterback who refuses to take care of his body. Let's be honest. That's exactly how we have to describe Tua. An unathletic, injured quarterback who refuses to take care of his body. That risk in itself, you can't put him out there at all.
So to me, that's the most important part of it. If you're going to have a quarterback next year, you don't want to, you already lost Chubb last year for this year. You screwed up with Jalen Phillips. Now you've lost him for the rest of the year, and you won't have him till next year. You don't want to lose Tua for next year. So let him heal up, dude.
Yeah.
And move on, right? I mean, that's really the smart move.
And I think the key part of that phrase you use there is the injured part, where if you just had an unathletic quarterback who refuses to protect himself, he would be out there playing. But the injured part is truly what will be keeping him off. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't see it for Tua. And based on what we've seen, he has thrown some warm-up passes in period 1 of practice, which is all. And then once the team is actually running drills with the quarterback, with the offense, with receivers, then it's Huntley going. So, and then we don't see the true full team periods of practice during the season. So, it's not looking like it. And I'm sure Tua it'll just be limited again on the injury report, but that's that. It's the team is Mike McDaniel's already said he's preparing as if Huntley's a starter, and I don't see it changing. He did leave the possibility open for it to change, but it hasn't changed as of Thursday, so I don't see that coming true before this game kicks off.
All right, before I follow up on the Tua question, let me ask this question that will lead to that question first. Albert Breer threw out there, they were talking about the Colts, and then he threw it towards the end of his comment that, hey, it's really, they like Shane Steichen, but it's really more about Ballard maybe. Ballard could be in question. And also in Miami, the rumblings about Chris Greer also going on. What do you think? What do you hear? I personally think they're all coming back because they're all going to give them a chance to either swim or sink next year. And I think they'll do a complete house cleaning next year if everybody fails. But I don't think they're going to do the human Jenga thing again. I think they're bringing everybody back and giving them one more shot at this whole thing and see how they can make up for this because they're already committed to all these salaries. So your thoughts on the Albert Breer report?
Yeah, that's the way I see it too, is to bring back this group, let them, like you say, sink or swim with what they have here. Because so this roster, Chris Greer created it, and now let him either live or die by it. And if you bring in someone else, then and if you only bring in one person, if it's only the GM, then he has to inherit all of Chris Greer's guys, right. Which probably wouldn't align with what someone else wants, and then and has to inherit Mike McDaniel. So I might see it where you give both another shot, and if it's another year where it goes similar or worse, or it just doesn't seem like there is any end improvement in sight, a noticeable improvement, then ultimately you would have to go the other way next year, and both might be very well on the hot seat at that point. But I do wonder just where Albert Breer is hearing it from. Apparently other executives feeling that way. So, is it more like hearsay based on just the belief because of how the season has gone, or is there truly something there? Is what I wonder. But all indications that I see would be that the Dolphins do retain that group. I think Steve Ross is fond of Chris Greer. And I think we've seen like the Dolphins releasing the video of him and Mike McDaniel, a post-game San Francisco game, giving him the team ball, and the photo that our Sun Sentinel photographer had on the sideline of Steve Ross, excited as that game was wrapping up with the Devon Achane touchdown. I think he seems just happy and pleased in that moment. So it didn't strike me as the photo of a man who is about to chop heads at the top of this organization.
Yeah, me neither. I don't think that's the case. Okay, so I'll ask you this question, and we'll come back to another question that has to do with personnel. What do you do? Because here's the thing. We get a lot of stupid comments from people. Oh, cut Tua. You can't do that, asshole. Trade Tua. You won't be able to do that, moron. The contract starts next year, and the cap hits, and you can't. You're stuck with Tua. So we end up with the two idiots that say trade or cut, which neither can happen. You're stuck with Tua. Okay. So now that you're stuck with Tua, okay, you look at their situation. They're actually good at offensive tackle. for next year. They're actually good at backup offensive tackle. If Lamb's going to come back now and give it one more year, with Keon and Lamb, you're actually pretty good. You got your center, so you got to work on your guards. Okay,
I just don't think don't count on Lamb because I know he started the year saying it was his last year. Then he kind of went back on it, but then he was also saying if he comes back, he would like to go back home to Charlotte and play for the Panthers. That he might not be in Miami. So
So he's had enough of Mike McDaniel too. Okay, all right. So anyway. So if you can get somebody as a swing tackle, okay. So now you're telling me, that will hurt, right? Okay. You got pass rushers. You get Phillips back. You got Chop. You got a young guy you can develop to. You can get Ogba back or whatever. You got one of your defensive tackles, so you need another fat guy. You got one of your middle linebackers. You need another middle linebacker. Okay. So what do you do at quarterback? Because you're stuck like Chuck with Tua. Now that you hear the Cleveland stuff and Fowler coming out with that report, and Cousins is going to have an opportunity to go to a place like Cleveland probably to start over coming to Miami and backup. So you're not really going to get a backup that's really going to save your season. So do you draft a guy in the middle rounds, 3rd, 4th, 5th round, if you see a guy that's got some talent and is raw, and you can groom him for a couple of years behind Tua, and you still go find a veteran quarterback? But the quarterback position, it's either sink or swim with Tua. It's either he figures out how to stay on the field and do smart things, but outside of that, there really is no savior for the people that think out there to go whatever, find another one. They're just fiscally not in a position to find that. Plus, they're not available anyway. Correct? So how do you address that quarterback situation, and how do you address the Tua situation with Tua?
Yeah. So, I mean, Tua, yes, you are committed to him and stuck. You sign him to the contract. So now, you're rolling with him as QB1 for the foreseeable future. I believe that's at least the next 2 years. If it's going awry, I have to check which one. I can't remember off the top of my head which one is the year where they start to have that first kind of out. Yeah, 3 total. Is it 3 more? Or
No. In the 3rd year is when they can start to get out of that deal.
Right. Yeah,
they're stuck like Chuck for 2 years.
Exactly. So you have him as your QB1, and you have him with this core because you also committed to the contracts and the guaranteed salaries with the core set of veterans that you have here, and he's going to be throwing to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. So you got that squared away. Now, in the draft, then. Coaches always fall in love with certain guys that they see in the draft. So if there are certain quarterbacks that are going to go in the middle rounds, then maybe I wouldn't draft a high round selection because that's a big commitment as well. And then that's a pick.
No, but plus you're mid to late first, so you're not really going to get the creme de la creme. You're getting, you're reaching at that. You're reaching for a guy that probably is going to be in the 2nd and 3rd round at that point. And why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
So that's not the path. So I could see a middle round. If you fall in love with a guy, then you could go that route. I did see, I haven't read it yet, but my colleague Chris Perkins, who joins you on post games as well, did just write a column saying this is another audition for Tyler Snoop Huntley. So I'm interested. I haven't read it yet, but I'm interested in seeing what he had to say about it. He did have a fine performance this past Sunday. That was against Cleveland, which is a pretty good defense. So there is potential there with just how much we've seen him improve from where he started with this team to what we just saw on Sunday. And if he does have another good game like that, then maybe you just roll with him. I wouldn't say it's an overreaction, but the best veteran that you could realistically grab as your backup is where I stand. And then if Huntley shows something that he could be that guy, then maybe I could go that route. But
if you draft somebody, Huntley's gone. If you're going to get a veteran, then Huntley's gone.
A veteran is my ideal scenario.
Yeah,
because you want to win now.
But who's the veteran that's out there, bro? Who's going to be out there? There's really nothing that's going to save you, dude. That's the thing. That's the problem that I think Dolphin fans don't understand, that really the options are so dried up that you're either better off just either drafting a guy in the middle rounds and maybe, Huntley is your backup or something like that. But then again, I don't know, man. I don't know how much Huntley's going to progress, to be quite honest, dude. I would think the Jets are preparing for slants this week.
Yeah.
Just a hint. I'm just saying, that seemed like the throw he made a lot this week. So, they saw something, but I'm sure the Jets are going to see something. And, look at C.J. Stroud. He had a terrific rookie year, and now he's struggling. So, they get film on you. So we'll see. I don't want to get too ahead of the Hundley thing. But again, what veteran is out there to save you? There probably isn't one anyway, Okay, so now here's the compounding problem. You talk to him every week. You have watched him coach. Anthony Weaver carries himself like a head coach, better than the head coach that he currently works for. You asked him about, the potential of jobs. He said, hey, my agent's asking me, are you preparing? I'm like, no, I'm preparing for this week. Totally focused on this week, which is the most professional thing to say because he is just the consummate pro, bro. I mean, he's impeccable, dude. I mean, the way he carries himself, he's awesome. If I'm a young team that's looking to invest in a guy that I think has the potential to build on, there you go. Weaver would be the guy. So you don't really have a backup quarterback. Your offensive coordinator / head coach is kind of a mess on game days. You end up losing a guy that really next year you give him actually some people that can play in the safety position and the pass rushers. I think Weaver can be really, really special. But if he's gone as a head coach, and that's another hurdle to overcome in a year that you're going to be on the hot seat, this becomes a real problem for Miami by losing Anthony Weaver, bro. Yeah. By the way, defensive coordinator number 4 in year 4 for McDaniel, if that happens.
That was the other point I would bring up in that regard is how it would be such a revolving door at DC for Mike McDaniel in his tenure. But everything that has gone wrong.
He's on the hot seat. And by the way, whoever has to replace Weaver has to know that he's on the hot seat. So, this isn't for a long time either, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah, well, I remember having this stat last offseason, but the last time the Dolphins had both the OC and DC returning at the same time, it was a long time ago because, I think the change in defensive coordinators all these past years, and then when you switch head coaches, that meant new OC that offseason when Boyer was retained. So it goes back a while. I'd have to go back into the archives to see when there was continuity from both coordinators along with head coach. But, I mean, everything that has gone wrong for the Dolphins this year, Mike McDaniel's best move was probably who he hired as defensive coordinator, but with the understanding that it might very well be just a rental for 1 year because he was a name that was already in the circles for the head coaching hiring cycle last year and interviewing for a couple of jobs. So, and one of the standout D coordinator prospects as he was coming from D line coach. So at a very impressive year he's had leading the Dolphins defense, now up to number 3 total defense. So only more reason that he is going to be a hot name. The one thing working against him is he's not an offensive coach, which those generally get the step up. Most of the jobs, I'd want to see the numbers of how many have the offensive background versus defensive background, but that said, I mean, the way he commands a room, the way he presents himself is very impressive as far as like what we see every week here. And I'm sure he's the same way in front of the players. And every player that I've ever asked about Anthony Weaver, they have great things to say about him, and the numbers speak for themselves on top of that.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned with that because that would be one major setback for this team if that happens.
It would be, yeah. But, I mean, Mike made a great hire in that regard this time, so he'd have to do it again. But now you don't have that home run there that you just were able to bring in available to you.
What any other injuries, concerns Dolphins should have going into this game on Sunday against the Jets?
Yeah, well, certainly at the tackle position, we already know Kendall Lamb was placed on IR Wednesday, and Teron Armstead, he has not looked good with that knee as he's trying to work his way through the second half of the year. last 4 games, he's asked out of 2 of them early, and he missed another one of them. So basically only made it through 1 of the last 4 games healthy, which you know what you're getting into with Tehran. It's great when available.
That's why. What did I tell you several weeks ago? What did I tell you that they should have done? They should have told them, hey, thanks, bro. We appreciate you. Stick around, help us out. We got to start with Patrick Paul from here on out. And that's what he should have been playing for the last month. He should have been playing every week.
But what are you thinking? If Armstead is able to go, that you would do that, or?
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would.
You would, but you can't do it realistically.
Oh, well, I know. I wouldn't have re-signed Tyreek either. I know.
That's right.
I would do certain things that they wouldn't do. What do you want me to do, bro? I mean, you know what I mean? I can only do so much. I wouldn't have re-signed Mike McDaniel either. There was no way I would have given him a contract extension. That's absolutely asinine to give that man a contract extension. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't have done. You know what I'm saying? Like some guy accused me of, well, you probably wanted them to draft Tua. And I was like, no, dude, I actually wanted Tristan Wirfs. I didn't want Herbert or Tua. I believe in Tua the player, but because of his injury history, I would have stayed away from that pick. I was on record. And, you know, guess what? The guy I wanted has been an all-pro tackle pretty much every year, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, I actually would have picked the better player out of all 3 of them. The guy that's been an all-pro more than any of those other 2 guys. So, you know, it's just the way it goes. But I do believe in Tua the passer. I just knew about his injury history, and that's why I wouldn't have taken the chance. And when they did, I was like, okay, he's got an injury history. He can pass the ball, but here's the mess we're in. This kid doesn't want to take it. Do you think anybody has really sat down with him and had like a brutal conversation with him about like, yo, dude, stop being stupid. Stop doing dumb things with your body. By the way, did Chris Perkins, somebody said that Chris Perkins said that everything has been bad luck for him, that he shouldn't stop on playing the way he plays? Is that true? Somebody said that on the chat board. Did Chris Perkins really say that?
That doesn't jog my memory, so I don't think so. Yeah.
It sounded weird because that's not true.
That it comes from bad luck and that he should keep playing the way he plays?
Yeah, no, it doesn't come from bad luck. It comes from bad decisions, dude. A lot of bad decisions.
Right. But you're saying that's what someone said.
Yeah, somebody sent me a Venmo.
No.
Somebody sent me a Venmo, and I'll read it to you exactly. Hateful Steve, send it in. And he says, I almost drove off the road when I heard Perk on his YouTube show say that Tua's injuries have just been unlucky and he shouldn't change anything about his game. Please talk him back to earth. So I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's true, he's insane.
I would have been on with him for that last show, Dolphins Deep Dive. So I didn't recall that, but maybe he said something that was misconstrued. I need to hear the clip that's being referred to, or maybe I misunderstood when I heard him. But
no, I doubt you would have misunderstood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I doubt you would have misunderstood that one. Bro.
It doesn't sound like
doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense because you chose to dive into somebody. You chose to go try to tackle somebody. You chose head first dive, which we won you over on that one. Finally, now you're with me on, bro, stay away from contact, right? Now you're with me on that one now, finally. Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I was only considering the head. The head he kept safe, and then that's what I was focused on. But it's true. He has been injury prone in many other ways in the past, so he's got to protect himself and just small in general. So,
by the way, don't tell me Eichenberg is going to start at right tackle. Barry Jackson threw that shit out there, and I said, oh, my God, that's Jesse Davis part 2. That's not going to happen, right? There's no way if Armstead goes, Patrick Paul goes to the right. But if Armstead doesn't go and Patrick Paul has to play left, who's going to play right? Don't tell me it's Eichenberg, because then poor Huntley is going to have broken ribs now.
Yeah, I would lean to what the Dolphins did against Houston, which did not go well, which was Jackson Carman getting the right tackle start. So That's where I would lean, that they go in that same direction as last time it
Jackson
happened.
Carmen with a lot of Durham Smythe parked right next to his ass.
Parked right next to the car man.
Yeah. Instead of Car Max, Car Man. Yeah. In there, bro.
Right. Yeah.
Get him in there, bro. Yeah. Oh my God, that's
But
scary.
I would consider that possibility too, because you have other guys who have played tackle.
I know.
But they see them in practice, and it must be that the coaches believe that Carman would be the best one for that job. If they also maybe try Eichenberg out for a few reps, Isaiah Wynn, who has played tackle before, but then you wouldn't have him at right guard. So there's a domino effect. You are rotating right guards now. So if you could decide, hey, if they truly are your next two best linemen, then one of them stays at right guard and one could play right tackle. But I believe the lead would be Jackson Carman again.
Let's see what happens there with that one. All right, what do you got? You got him. You got him winning.
I do. I predicted 23-13. I feel like the Jets, after watching last week, are a team that's checked out. I know they took them to overtime in Miami Gardens, but I
agree.
I don't see it from the Jets when we just saw that game in Buffalo. I know every game is independent of each other, but boy, I mean, when they have nothing to play for, you think they're really going to come out motivated. And Aaron Rodgers, that whole thing has been a mess here at the end. So, and the Dolphins have a lot to play for. So,
I thought he wasn't even going to play this week, to be quite honest. I'm actually shocked that he's going to play.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to say, you know what, because he benched himself last week, basically, and the body language on some of those plays walking off the field was terrible, dude. It's like, really, why even bother playing this guy? Play whoever next week. They'll play with some enthusiasm or something. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like, wow.
The Dolphins defense has to come out motivated after they did not have a good showing against the Jets the first time, letting Aaron Rodgers throw a bunch to Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. So they need some redemption against a team that really should not have done that, should not have looked that good, and had it come down to all that when they played in Miami.
By the way, he says, Hateful Steve chimes in with another Venmo. Hateful Steve, love you, brother. Great support always to the show, because this dude, he doesn't just send a comment like on the chat board. He sends in a donation with every comment. Like, that's badass. Go to the Sun Sentinel YouTube channel for the Dolphins deep dive with Perk and David, and start at the 11-minute and 50-second mark. Son of a bitch knows the exact spot.
Okay.
And everything.
That's my homework. I'm going to go do that before next time.
Steve knows where the crime was committed.
11:50. Got it. I'll go to the last one.
11:50 mark.
All right. I'll play it back before
next. We're all going to go to the 11:50 mark and see if Chris Perkins has seriously lost his mind.
Is this happening live? Are we doing it now? Or
No, we're not doing it now.
Okay,
We'll probably get. We ain't going to do it now. What for? We'll get tagged by your damn YouTube or something for airing that, man. It's like they tag us for everything on YouTube, bro.
Oh, really?
Jesus Christ, man. I can't put anything out there, bro. I don't know what the hell it is, but they're tagging us all the time. All right, man. So, and you actually picked you really picked the Chiefs to win? Did you really sell them that hopium?
Well, I haven't predicted that game, but I would believe the Broncos take care of their business too. Would be, if I was making a prediction myself. So, yeah, I would see the Dolphins finishing 9-8, go on a 7-2 run after starting 2-6, have a winning season, but get left out of the playoffs because the other result didn't go their way. Well, among a lot of things that the Dolphins did wrong all season to end up in this predicament to begin with. Any other game, they would have been in a win and in scenario here. So really the Dolphins could only fault themselves.
Well, I got Sean. He is listening to it now. He's trying to find out if that's the tooth of Perkins now. So we're gonna break it down. All right.
Okay.
What? 11:50 mark, he said. Okay. Follow him on Twitter at @DavidFaronis_. Catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. David, as always, you're a stud, my brother. Safe travels there in New York, my friend. And we'll catch you we'll catch you this Sunday in the evening. Unfortunately, because they had to make this stinking game 425, right?
Yeah.
They could make this game 1 o'clock.
Well, based on like we talked about post game in Cleveland, is the Denver games are in the Mountain Time Zone. They go with the 4 o'clock window, so Dolphins got to be at the same time. So
you could have played the Dolphin game at 1, and it doesn't matter until the 4 o'clock game is played. So you're still in suspense. You know what I'm saying? He said it. Oh my God! Sean says he said it.
Okay, wow.
He said he's not going to blame Tua for being a football player, but throwing his head into DeMar Hamlin is just bad luck.
Oh God! No.
Oh, wait, did he?
Yeah. No, yeah.
I must not have caught that one because I would have stopped him.
First of all, we need to understand this. Tua's not a football player. Marino's
Tua himself said he was remorseful that he did that.
But then he knew he was wrong. Right, but then after he dives, after he said that, after he said, I let my players, I let my guys hang out to dry, and then you do the dive against the Texans. It's just no, dude. No. You just can't do it. But see, he has to understand that Marino, Manning, Brady, Breeze, they're just like him. They weren't athletes either. They're not football players. They're specialists. They're passers. That's all. And Marino knew not to go tackle anybody. He knew not to take on tacklers. He knew not to even hold on to the ball too long. He'd throw it away. He was the best at that, bro. The play was dead. The ball was in the 3rd freaking row of the Orange Bowl. I mean, that's just the way that's the smart way to play, dude. And this kid doesn't get it. Lots of other guys, bro. Brady wasn't tackling anybody. He wasn't doing any of that stupid shit. It's really not that hard to understand, to be quite honest.
Right. Yeah. You are a specialist who is so much more valuable for the skills that you provide.
Yes.
And not trying to do what all those other guys on the field do. So,
it's not a specialist. I get it because we look at the kicker and the punter as a specialist and say, oh my God, it's an insult. No, dude, it's not an insult. You're important as hell, but you're so important that, bro, you have to take care of yourself. There's a reason why we protect generals in a war. They're not at the front line. Okay? They're behind the front lines doing everything, creating everything, and helping everything out and leading, but they're not leading right in the front. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of need them to help you guide, you know? The captain in the ship is in the front. He's not down there, you know, telling the airplanes on the aircraft carrier to take. No, that's not where the captain is. The captain's up in the top. You know what I mean? That's kind of, you know, that's who you are. The president is inside the bunker still running the war. You know, that's just kind of the way it goes. And he has to understand that. And I don't get it, bro. I don't get it. And he has no future if he doesn't do it. That's the worst part about it. His career will end soon if he continues at this pace. That's all. You know, sad part, man. All right, doggy. We'll catch up on Sunday.
All right. Sounds good, Open.
You got it. There you go. The great David Furones, Welt and Rayom. We love talking about Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy. Lots of people have been calling because obviously bankruptcy has been an issue. Homeowner property damage, condo damage, all kinds of stuff, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. So many of our listeners have called Welt and Rayom and have hired them, and they have come through. Oh, man, like gold. I'm telling you, baby. Welt and Rayom, 954-966-4646. Consultations completely free. Call them. They're in Hollywood, and they can take care of anybody in Florida. 954-966-4646.
This has been another session of the Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welt and Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welt and Rayom can help.
All right. Oh, man. Oh, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And thank you, Hateful Steve, for that follow-up. Strong by you, sir. Ray Martinez, thank you for the love on Venmo, sir. Happy New Year to all. It's a shame that our blueprint back in 2019 went to waste because we didn't have the correct leader to lead this team, a talent. So we've lost 5 seasons. Now, unfortunately, in 2026, our cap space will be in hell, and this is truly a disappointment. Yeah. And because you've hired the wrong coaches, and then you constantly change coordinators, that hurts. You can't keep the same defensive players because the scheme changes, and then they have different requirements, and then it hurts you. Although in the case of Christian Wilkins, you're still letting him go no matter what defensive coordinator you have because he's not worth the money. But how about the Christian Wilkins situation? Oh, my God. Injured players have hurt the Dolphins overall. Christian Wilkins is hurting you injured on another team. We needed Christian Wilkins to stay on the field and kick some serious ass for the Raiders so you can continue to get the third-round compensation. Because of the injuries and the games missed and the games not played, it's now going to a fourth-rounder. We get screwed even when injured players are in other teams. Now, it's a lot better than him being on the roster and getting injured, because then you people would be ripping Chris Greer in the front office and everybody else and wanting heads to roll. They paid Christian Wilkins. And after all these years, they played him on every down and they wasted him and they burnt him out. And then they gave him a new contract and see, he injured himself. What a bunch of idiots. I could see it now. Because Christian Wilkins, remember, played every down. Played fourth downs, everything. Him and Sealer never came off the field the last 2 years. They didn't come off the field. And here's Sealer still having a better year than Wilkins again, because he had a better year last year. Now he had a better year again this year. A lot less money. But they don't get credit for that. They only get hell for Wilkins, which you don't pay anyways. It's like the Rob Hunt thing. It sucks. You drafted a really good lineman, a guard, but you can't pay him the kind of money that Carolina had to pay him. It sucks. But again, you don't get credit for that, you know. But look at that now. You're going to get your third for Hunt, but you're not going to get your third for Wilkins, dude. That's our luck as a fan base. The guy goes and gets the contract. Oh, well, hey, at least we'll get a third. Nope. Guy gets injured now. Van Ginkel is in the Pro Bowl, right? It's fantastic. He's in the Pro Bowl. You feel happy for him, right? But here's the thing. Here's the trade-off. Okay? You pay Van Ginkel, you don't draft Chop. Because you don't need him. You got Phillips coming back. You got Chubb. You got Van Ginkel. You got Agba. You would have drafted something else. But he's 29, so it's kind of a catch-22. You let him go, you hurt yourself. You're going to get a compensatory pick. Hey, does his become like a fourth instead of a fifth? Since they drafted him in the fifth, do we get an upper round for Van Ginkel? Because damn, he overachieved, dude. He overachieved. I don't know. Does it go the other way? I don't even know. I don't know all the wacky rules of the compensatory picks. But that's nuts. I mean, our luck is just as fans. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal, dude. I don't get it. Anyway, what can I tell you? By the way, Sloman's Home Shield. Alarmo, raise that arm, baby. Yes. They are in 14 different states. If you're looking for a new alarm system to protect your home here in South Florida, call my friends at Sloman's. They nationwide. They're even in Jersey too. Of course, they're from Jersey. They're a New York, New Jersey company. Sloman's 1-800-ALARM-ME. All right, you should call them to get the alarm system for all your homes. You have 8 of them now. Jesus, Steve. Anyways, right now they're giving you a free home security system with free professional installation when you use our low-cost central station monitoring. The free system includes the panel, the keyboard, up to 10 door contacts, window decals, lawn sign, professional installation, lifetime service, communication device, backup battery. I right when I said 10 door contacts, I looked at Steve and he was counting. He was going, No, I have 25 doors. That's just not enough. Anyway, by the way, they offer top-of-the-line home security systems designed to detect intruders, alert the authorities, and give you real-time updates right to your smartphone. And their state-of-the-art central station monitoring center will have you protected 24/7. And I should know, and Sean should know, because both our homes are protected by Sloman's. 1-800-ALARM-ME, and tell them that Big O sent you. Yes, sir. All right. Big O, I'm with you. When you're right, when you're wrong, you're on your own. Oh, man, I love it. Getting Wilkins for the best 5 years of his career and a 4th-round pick is still a win. Yeah. So you don't need another edge. Even with Chop, we still need it. No, because you have money invested in Chubb, and then you have Phillips. So last year, in the situation you were in, you wouldn't have drafted Chop because you have 2 defensive ends already, and you're committed to them, and you were expecting them to stay on the field and get on the field this year. You didn't know what was going to happen. You're dealing in hindsight now, my brother, which is the part that you don't have at that moment. So you wouldn't have done both, actually. But that's all right, bro. If you want to go ahead and run off with it, and they would have done it anyway, you knock yourself out. All right, the great Steve Calabro is ready, and we are here at Hialeah Park, baby. Yes, we're in the 2nd floor poker room. That's right. The great Josh is back here joining us, hanging out in the background. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Well, let me tell you something, Big O. I got some breaking news. It's Steve Calabro breaking news, but
is there a Cybertruck on fire outside?
I just got invited. Literally. I'm talking like 20 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. It's going to be cool. It's going to be an experience. Remember, we just had some nice time together with the family, had a nice Christmas.
Hefner's dead. The Playboy Mansion's not around anymore. That's not that. Oh, it's not it? Oh, okay. All right. No, I'm just trying to. I don't know if you just got that invitation and you didn't know Hef.
It's family.
You didn't know Hef was dead. I mean, because that's the kind of news I would share.
No, listen.
That's I've been invited to the Playboy Mansion.
It's the sports equivalent.
Okay.
It's the sports equivalent. Now, remember, I'm a Dolphin fan. Okay.
But for Madrid?
The weekend, for the weekend, I'm just going to have to just take a little bit of
no way you're
vacation.
Going to New York.
I'm going to New Jersey. Come on. The Giants play in New Jersey.
Well, right. That's true.
The Jets and the Giants. I'm not going to the Dolphin game. I'm going to the New York Giants Eagles game.
Oh, because your son is an Eagles fan. That's
in the 50-yard club indoors. Ooh. Like you don't go to the games. It's very hard to go to the game in December. It's going to be 22 degrees.
Except the Jets-Dolphins game. You could probably buy tickets for $10.
Oh, I mean, the weather.
No, I know.
It's 22 degrees.
I know.
But not in the 50-yard club suite.
No,
it's like
nice
72.
Right.
It's not really 22. It's 72, right? So nice. I just got invited.
Nice.
From a family member.
Very good.
My stepdaughter's a beautiful woman, right? She has a partner, a great guy, I may add. Nikolai. You think Nikolai can't be, gotta be, Russian or Greek. No, he's Latino, Latino guy.
Okay.
He works in law enforcement, high-ranking guy in law enforcement.
Nice.
And all of a sudden, they call us up, and Nikolai and Dan are inviting us to the 50-yard club and the New York Giants. It's a good sports experience. It's going to be fun.
Is Tommy DeVito starting?
I hope, because you know how I love Tommy DeVito. I mean, I'm hoping that the veal cutlets are on the menu. In the 50-yard club. Come on, you tell me that.
Who are they starting? Who are they playing anyways?
It's the Eagles.
No, I'm saying a quarterback.
Oh, so Drew Lock.
Oh no, that's right. He kicked ass last week. Oh yeah. He screwed up. He screwed up their draft.
Yeah, their draft choice. They went from first to fourth. Yeah, they go to fourth now. Yeah. They're gonna have Drew. They're gonna have
the game of his life, dude.
They're gonna have Drew Lock and Tommy DeVito forever now because they won, right? But it's going to be a fun experience. It's more of an experience. It's not like, look, it's the shame is that Saquon's not going to be playing.
No, he shouldn't.
No, I know that. I get
the record is useless. Give me a break. Screw the record. Dude,
Now that they know that,
dude,
yeah, you're right.
You've got some years like I do.
I know.
The Juice did 2014 games.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I'm not impressed by you people doing 16 and 17. Just get out of here.
17 games.
Just get out of here with even Dickerson. When Dickerson did it, he did it in the 15th game when he crossed the 2,000-yard mark. And then he got the extra yards on the 16th game. But it took him a 15th game to cross the 2,000-yard mark.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Saquon did it in 16.
Yeah, neither one of them count to me.
Yeah.
OJ's the guy, bro.
I hear you.
He slashes on and off the field.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Just saying.
You got to be paying attention to hear that one.
I'm just saying. Okay. The guy did 2,014 games with a shitty team. He's the guy, bro. It ain't Dickerson, and forget about Saquon. Okay. Great year. I'm not taking.
I'm telling you, I happen to think he's up there for MVP voting.
I have no problem with any of that.
I think he's way better.
Just the single season record rushing crap, bro. OJ owns it. Unless you pass 2,000 in the 14th game,
then you're a beast.
Then I got you. Yeah. Then we're good.
But look, the game is going to be fun in terms of an experience because it's going to be like it's going to be a festival. You know, it's going to be nice and comfortable.
It's a no pressure game.
Yeah, it's like kind of, it's not a bad ride from where I live. It's going to be fun.
You know what? I feel good for Drew Lock because we all have dreams. We all want to work to make our dreams, come true. And that kid, that's all he's been doing the last few years, bounce around different teams because he's kind of been a failed first-round pick from Denver. And so sometimes you find your groove late. I don't know if he has or anything. I have no idea. But the kid, to his credit, he went out and balled, bro.
He played hard. He played well.
Great game.
Now, another disappointment.
By the way, he lacks no talent. Like, he has all the skills to be an NFL quarterback.
He's almost as good as Tommy DeVito.
He's got a wicked arm, bro. He's got a wicked arm.
He kind of chuckled there a little. But Tommy gets in the game. At the end, they put him in just so that
clean up a little bit.
Yeah, the hometown guys get to say, "Hey, we know that kid." But the other thing that's a little bit bummer about this week is Tua not playing.
He shouldn't play. An unathletic, injured quarterback who refuses to take care of himself.
No, but
that doesn't make any sense. You don't play him. He can't. He's not a good athlete as it is. Now he's got an injured hip and he can't move even. Remember,
we drafted him and he had to have hip surgery.
Right, I get that. That's why. But remember, he's the dumb one that keeps doing stupid shit and putting himself in. Like I just said earlier to David Furones, he needs to understand that he's a specialist. Just like Dan Marino, just like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady or Drew Brees.
Throw the ball, don't run.
Bro, just throw the ball and shut the hell up. Throw the ball away when nothing's there. Find somebody, and that's it. Don't take sacks. Don't take on tacklers. Don't try to tackle anybody. None of those guys did any of that. And they lasted forever, and they're all statues. They can't move. They can't.
Slow. Some of them were slow. Tom Brady's slow.
He actually can run better than Tom Brady and Dan Marino.
Yeah.
But don't because you don't run enough. And he doesn't seem to understand that. And he goes and he does the head dive, and then he gets Malachi crunched. And there you go.
Malachi crunched. It's a Miami term, a little Latino term there, the Malachis. Or is that
you know where you don't know where that's from?
No.
Happy Days?
Oh, sorry. It's
Sam, that's your time.
Listen,
I got
you're
you
digging
there.
deep there. You're digging deep. Malachi Day.
This show goes everywhere. We're like
Thursdays 8:00. Just it's Thursdays 8:00 when
we're like Sagwa Fair. We're everywhere.
Malachi Crunch. Yeah. The Malachi Crunch.
Well, I don't have a term, a modern day term for like a crunch. Like I don't have one. There's not a popular one that's known. That is there? No, right?
Well, I think the Malachi Crunch is good. Well, I think you're bringing it back.
It's good for us, but young people are like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Happy days. What was
are you looking at our economy? What happy days are you talking about? Right, he's the coach on Waterboy. Yeah.
That's like 30-year-olds and plus.
Yeah,
20-year-olds they don't know Waterboy. They don't even know Waterboy. So it's a little bit crazy. But the NFL.
Pat in Asheville goes,
OJ wanted to be a car dealer, but he couldn't get the rights to. We're slashing prices, and if the suitcase doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's well, but good old OJ. Yeah, OJ. He did well. He did some crazy.
He did a lot of damage.
He did a lot of damage.
He did a lot of damage while he was around.
He did some damage. Whether it was on the field or post career. But
he was
anyway,
a heartbreaker in many ways.
Yes, a little bit of a heartbreaker. Yeah, he was definitely that's the slasher would be the best name. Yeah. But now, what do you think about this week? What are you thinking about in the NFL? The Jersey guy is literally telling me in 5 minutes he's got some stuff here. I don't know. I mean, I contacted him. I was so excited about going to
New York.
No, I'm glad you said that. I'm so glad you said that.
What, New York?
My wife is like, she is convinced, and I think she's right. I think she's spot on, that the Jets and the Giants should stop calling themselves the New York Giants and New York Jets.
They should go to Jersey and just say
they practice in New Jersey. They play in New Jersey. It sounds okay. Jersey Giants, Jersey Jets. It actually has a better ring than New York. Why not? That I would be proud of that.
Well, that's no. It's
the Giants.
No, he's on to something. The Jets would add to the smell of Jersey.
Yeah, well, that would be true. Yeah. Oh, actually, just Aaron Rodgers alone would be somebody else to bury in the swamps, right?
That's it. Right next to Jimmy Hoffa.
Right next to Jimmy. There's probably a spot for him. Like,
right there.
I mean, let me
the
tell you
wise guys want to bury Aaron Rodgers right about now. Yeah.
The wise guys and everybody else too.
Yes.
I think Aaron
they'll
Rodgers,
give him a dark room that he'll never come out of.
Oh, they got plenty of dark rooms. Yeah.
They got dark rooms to spare.
I think Aaron Rodgers is bad for the NFL, and he has been. Forget about being bad for the Jets and bad for
relationships. He's bad for his family.
He's bad for everything.
Think about it. Aaron Rodgers is like the guy that just did the disgusting thing in New Orleans. That guy wanted to kill his family, and instead, no, let me go pick some innocent people. He wanted. That was his thing. He wrote all that stuff out. He really wanted to kill his family. Instead, he could have been like that woman. Where was she from what state or something? She disappears. She's national news, and like they find her crossing Mexico and all that, and she's like, yeah, no, I'm over here, I'm fine, I just don't want to be with you people anymore, I hate my family. Like that guy could have chosen.
No, this guy, he's a piece of crap, right? There's no doubt he's he's horrible. My
10-year Army veteran born here,
really, and totally radicalized and I just feel for those
best part
families.
Yesterday about that was Fox. Immediately when it happens, they come out and say, oh, he's an illegal that just crossed the border 2 days ago.
Yeah.
We retract the story. I mean, it's just like
illegal.
They are the most consistent, like, misinformation base that there is.
They went early on that. But
oh my God.
But so did the authorities in New Orleans, where the FBI saying
no, but that's different. Saying it's not terrorist because they wanted to actually have the facts yet and say
but that's one person saying it's not, and an hour later they're doing.
But it really wasn't. It was a terroristic attack, but it's one guy. He acted alone.
Yeah, but he had the ISIS flag.
Is he tied to ISIS, or is he just
but
some nutbag that said, let me buy an ISIS flag and I'll tie it to it and I'll go do something stupid? You know what I mean?
I think he's a terroristic nut job.
He's a crazy man.
Yeah.
But not really like a legal terrorist, like part of.
Well, not like, the Bin Laden gangs and all, but these guys are weird.
He's like the loser Timothy McVeigh that took down the Oklahoma building. He's it's a terroristic attack, but you're not really part of a terrorist organization.
Yeah, you're not in their club. You kind of almost want to be in their club.
Right.
You want to be in their club. They don't really want you. They don't even know you exist.
I just saw a movie about a guy that all he did was recreate killings of other whatever, and then it's called you know what, I don't want to give it away because it's a new show. I don't even want to do this. I'm sorry, I don't even want to do this. I don't even want to say anything because I then I'll give it away. It's actually a really good show. It's new out, but I don't want to say anything. I already said enough.
Yeah,
official,
like official terrorists.
Yeah, you've been sanctioned by the terrorist of America, terrorist of the world,
like
club
legit,
or something.
I'm a legit Houthi. You know what I'm saying? I'm a legit Houthi. I'm a legit.
What's a Houthi?
Houthi is in Yemen. The Houthis are the ones that, just like in Gaza, we have what's the name of the idiots there that they've been eliminating in Gaza? The ones that took over for the Palestinians. Hamas.
Hamas people, yeah,
right,
Hamas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
so
Hamas,
Houthis is Hamas in Yemen.
Oh, Yemen's another screwed up. There's 4 or 5 countries over there.
Right, because these places take over and then they have no power, and then these freaks take over and then they dominate your country and they terrorize it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can tell you, just back to that, my condolences at the highest level to every family member, every
It was a terrible day yesterday, bro.
You're talking about 50 families got like
the Mississippi explosion, the Tesla on fire.
The Tesla on fire, yeah.
That guy was a military, an active military guy. The guy in the Tesla.
Yeah.
He was in both people. 10% of our terror acts are by former military people.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
Well, maybe they're doing something wrong in the military. Maybe we're doing something. Maybe we're not perfect in the. I mean, we have a great military, but maybe there's some things.
Oh, well, you gotta have to have a loose screw to go to the military. Let's be honest.
Some people might be.
There's a military guy right there. He was in the Marines, but I'm sure he's got the screw right. But I'm saying he was probably in bunkers with a whole bunch of people that were
a little bit loose, really loose screws.
These are the people that line up on special teams.
Yeah, there you go. Sean, thanks for your service, man. Thank you.
You didn't know he was a Marine?
I did not know he was a Marine. Do your viewers know that? Your listeners know? They know that? That's an important fact. And that's an important factoid.
I know. He's got bone on his knee because of that shit.
Oh yeah, that's not good. That's not good. No, that's not good. No. But hey, listen, what's
not good is you don't take care of our veterans. That's what you don't do, America.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But anyway, back to the NFL. Jersey Jets, Jersey Giants. Gotta love Dana and I'm not gonna go with Nikolai. I think he should be Nico. I asked him. He's okay with Nick. He's okay with Nico. Right.
Okay.
Nico is a better.
Nico's kind of a thuggish name.
Well, he's not a thug. He's
but
a policeman.
hey, I got, hey, I got a buddy named Nico. Stop screwing around, and that's it.
That's the story I'm going to go with.
That's it.
That's my Nick. That's
Nico.
Shit,
Nico.
If I tell Nico,
that doesn't. Yeah.
Nico's not going to like that.
Yeah. Nico's like a name. Like, oh man, that doesn't sound good.
I'm going with Nico then.
Yeah.
I'm going with Nico.
Nico's an intimidating name.
Nico, Nico.
It's an intimidating name.
Nico, yeah.
Do it.
He's got a
do it.
You like Nico? No, I like Nico.
Nico.
No, Nico.
Nico McBrain, like the drummer from Iron Maiden. That's Nico. He's a nice guy. No, Nico. Well, he'll kick your ass.
What's Nico from Houston's a hell of a receiver.
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins.
That's Nico Collins, actually.
No, but it's spelled Nico.
Yeah, but it's pronounced Nico.
No, they're mispronouncing it.
Okay,
they're mispronouncing it. And I'm gonna go with it. I had this conversation this morning. So they mispronounced my name wrong now. And it's all because of Stephon Curry. Stephon Curry has made my life a little difficult now with my name. Because my name is Steven. Stephe.
Oh, like the owner of the Dolphins. Steven?
No, don't compare me to him, please.
The name is the same.
I know, but Stephen.
Well, no, of course not. You don't have nearly as much money.
No, not even close. Not even close. Yeah. No, but Stephon Curry spells his name Stephen. I met a Stephon today.
Ah, okay.
No, it's En. It's En. Stephon Curry is En. And Stephon,
I had no idea.
Stephon Curry. I met a Stephon today. Right?
I'm becoming a Stephon expert now.
Yes, you're becoming a Stephon expert. So I met a Stephon today who spells his name Stephan. I spell it En, but I'm Steven. Now I walk into every place and they're like, "Hey, how you doing, Stephon?" I'm like, "No, I'm Steven. I'm not Stephon." Just because Stephon Curry mispronounces his name, that's what I think. That's Steve Caliber.
But here's the problem with you. He doesn't understand what's going on.
He doesn't understand what's going on.
What's going on? What's going on now?
This is what's going on. He pulls up in a Rolls Royce. You're Stefan. Right. You know, when he has a light beer in his hand, hey, Steven, what's up? So what's going on? He shows up in a suit. Stefan, sir.
Drinking
Crown
Crown
Royal.
Royal.
Get the door for you. You know what I mean? That's the problem. Steven is just a regular guy you have a beer with, you make some bets with. Stefan owns the casino.
So I have an alter ego, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's what I'm saying. Remember, we go back to the Sloman's commercial. You have 8 houses, 25 doors. Stefan has 8 houses, 25. Steven has a shack somewhere in North Miami.
Yeah, Miramar.
So that's the problem. So it's up to you now, you know? So when you want to like display that, hey, I don't got a lot of money, I'm Steven.
Yeah, but if I want to go big time. Well, this weekend I'm going to be Stefan.
You'll be in the club
with Nico.
Only
with
people
Nico,
in that
Nico or Nico.
What's that 50 club thing? What's it called?
50-yard club.
Only a Stefan ends up in the 50-yard.
Stefan. No. Yeah. So Stefan's going to be at the 50-yard club, right?
And you're getting limo there, I bet.
With my no limo, not that I'm aware of yet, but with my escort being escorted by Nico,
only Stefan has escorts.
Nico and
bodyguard
and his team of, which his team is really my stepdaughter, my wife. But let's not ruin a perfect good story with the facts.
Steven has a drunk buddy that has holes in his shoes
and watches the game at a sports bar in the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Stefan's, I'll be Stefan.
That's
this weekend.
Where I think you're having the mix up there.
So I was telling her, I said, this is like
show up with shorts and a t-shirt and they'll just call you Steven.
It's either alter ego or maybe like the witness protection program. I'm going to New Jersey and I'm going to be Stefan.
Right. That's it.
Rooting for the Giants.
Right.
And Tommy DeVito.
You just got to, if Steven owes people money, you might end up next to Jimmy Hoffa and Aaron Rodgers.
I got Nico with me.
You might.
He's going to protect me.
No, not Steven.
No, not Steven. No, Steven doesn't have Nico. No,
that's what I'm saying.
Stefan
don't
does.
step into Steven while you're out there because Steven owes the wise guy's money. So you're going to be buried with Rodgers, Hoffa, and
yeah. So I got to be careful there.
You got to be careful.
Listen, talking about Jersey, the Jersey guy just popped in. I haven't even looked at him. I'm looking at them.
Fresh picks.
These are fresh. No, he kind of
like Italian bread out of the oven.
I called him earlier, and he says Texas over Ohio State. I don't even know what that means. But
I'm taking Ohio State there.
Ohio State.
Isn't it like 6 points?
No. Let me tell you why. It was not actually. You want to know something?
Let me look.
Let me tell you. It's Ohio State going to win it. Ohio State has got a real defense.
Looks really good.
They got a great defense. No, but the Jersey guy didn't.
-6 Ohio State. I'm taking Ohio State.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. But that wasn't the Jersey guy answering on this series of text messages. Is this guy Paul from Texas? Who was biased, so he's saying, he's
okay.
He was like, that wasn't a Jersey. Okay. Now here's the Jersey guy picks.
All right, let's go.
I kind of like this first one. I love this one. I think I've already bet it. No, Bengals over the Steelers.
Okay,
1.5. It's only 1.5. -1.5.
I got -2 right now, but okay, 1.5. That's fine.
Okay, I like the next.
That's fine.
I like the next one in a lot of ways. I think this defense, when they come to play, they're great.
And Burrow's had such a great year, dude.
Yeah, Burrow's is the real deal. But
the team is Burrow's a real deal. It's just he's had injury history.
Well, the last 10, 12 weeks, he's been right there, right? Those first 5 or 6 weeks with Jamar holding out, that didn't help.
Yeah, no, but Higgins has been out of his mind too.
The last game, Higgins was a beast.
He's going to get a massive
whatever you have to pay Higgins, you got to pay him.
No, they're not paying him.
Well,
they haven't even paid Jamar Chase yet. You think Mike cheap ass Brown is going to spare?
Whoever's going to get Higgins,
somebody's going to get Higgins, and they're going to get a number one.
I hope he goes to
receiver.
a good quarterback.
Well, he's going to have his pickings of whoever wants to go to.
Yeah, he had a game last week that was unbelievable. Anyhow,
he is unbelievable.
Next game is, and I love this pick: Chargers over the Raiders. Chargers -4.5. Chargers, when their defense plays, they're for real. And say what you want,
the Raiders are terrible.
And Herbert is not bad. He's come in.
He's not a clutch guy.
No, but he's come into his own. I think the new coach, it's a new environment there. And, look at this. Look, the Jersey guy.
But I would give the 4.5 in that game.
Yeah, I would. And here's Now this is maybe the Jersey guy was just being. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about these picks. Maybe he's just being like, what do they call that? Patronizing, right? Dolphins over the Jets. I'm reading these the same time that you're reading.
They should.
I mean, -1. Come on, the Jets. They could beat the Jets by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, but Huntley is a wild card.
Huntley had a good game.
You notice he just completed slants, right? Basically.
Okay. So what? So you know what? Call slants.
Call
slants,
and that's going to be on tape.
I get it, but
I understand they should win the one. I just wouldn't touch it because it's Huntley.
No, but I'll tell you why I like it. Because I think the Jets have been poisoned. They are a poisoned locker room.
I agree.
The damage that Aaron Rodgers has done is beyond what anybody can even think about.
I get it. I just don't trust the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm okay.
And I don't trust the head coach. I don't trust the quarterback either. I know he had a terrific game last week, and God bless him, because just like Drew Lock, he's trying to keep a
he's
dream
trying to be
alive.
employed, right?
God bless him, man.
A kid from Allendale Beach,
it's one game. I'm not going crazy, and I've seen Dolphins Jets games that
can be crazy.
My God.
They can be nutty. They can be
and
nutty.
I've seen Marino lose to a lesser Jets team.
Wait a second. Let me ask you.
So I've seen the craziest shit in the world.
When are the Dolphins playing the Jets?
Sunday.
4:25, bro. They're both at 4:25.
So wait. I'm confused. When are the Giants playing the Eagles?
Because neither one is a playoff game.
They're just going to SU in and out.
No.
Yeah.
No, is that true?
Yeah.
It must be a Saturday game.
What game?
One of these games, they can't have it.
Saturday's all AFC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Saturday it's Browns, Ravens, and Bengals, Steelers.
Yeah, but so when are the Giants playing?
The Giants are playing at 1:00 against the Eagles.
And when are the Jets playing?
4:25.
When are the Jets playing?
At home?
No, it's probably Philly, bro. It's a Philly.
No, it's not a Philly. It's in New York.
No, Giants are at Philly. Giants are at Philly, dude.
Wait a second. I'm going to the 50. Am I going to the 50-yard club to the wrong stadium?
You're going to.
I'm going to the Dolphin game.
Oh, you're going to the Dolphin game.
No, wait. There's a complete confusion. I gotta get on the.
Bro, Giants are at Eagles.
Wait, Giants are at the Eagles?
Yeah. So you didn't even know what game you were going. That's why they invited you, because nobody would want those tickets.
Or maybe the game's not happening.
Oh, it's happening. Now, are you still going?
I think somebody's. I'm going to have to report back next week as to where the freak I went.
Well,
I don't even know where I'm going now.
If you're not going to the Eagles Stadium, then you're not going to be there. If you're going to New York, then you're going
Jersey.
I
thought I was going to Jersey.
You're going to Dolphins. Yeah, you're going to Dolphins Jets.
That's even better.
No, it's not.
Why? I'm a Dolphin fan.
Yeah.
No, but listen. This is why I'm confused.
Actually, you know what? That other game sucks too, because there's nothing there.
You might as well root for your team, right?
Yeah. Who wants to go to Philadelphia?
Yeah.
No. I'd rather go to New York and have some fun.
New Jersey, please.
Jersey, whatever.
Jersey. It's 10 miles from where you hung out in Jersey.
No, I get it, but what I'm saying is,
I'm going to watch the Jersey.
What I'm saying
Jets
is,
get beat.
Manhattan's right there, so I could go have fun. Philly. Sorry for any of you that might live in Philly.
My son lives in Philly. Don't pick on my son.
You
Come on, you're hurting my heart now.
Tell him to move. What's he doing there?
My son loves Philly so much. He has a tattoo of the Philadelphia skyline on his calf. That's how much he loves.
They
Philly.
have a skyline?
They have a beautiful skyline. Yes.
They have a skyline?
Yeah, it's a sort of a skyline.
Isn't it just a broken bell and that's it?
Yeah, it's leaning. Yeah, it's cracked. It's cracked. It's not broken. It's cracked. Yeah. Yeah. Anyhow.
They have a skyline in Philadelphia?
Listen, if you go to Philly, you should go to Fishtown. My son will meet with you. He'll tell you where to hang it. Fishtown is the cool section of Philadelphia.
Okay.
That just want to let you know that. So there is one cool section. Now South Philly. No, there's more than that. There's and by the way, in Philadelphia, they're famous for something. Potholes. You have never seen potholes in a road like you've ever seen, like in your life. You go there and you're like your car gets stuck.
California is famous for pot.
Yeah, they have a lot of pot in Philadelphia too.
Oh, okay, yeah. What's that area in Philadelphia that is really bad?
Kensington.
Horrible. Kensington.
It's next to Fishtown, so it's 2 miles, a mile or 2 miles from.
So
you go from really cool to like horrible.
Like horrible.
Like
Kensington,
I want
they're people like they're just
zombies.
dying right in front of you. Like they're
I want your viewers to YouTube the Kensington zombies.
Oh,
like it's horrible.
It's bad.
It's really bad. But anyhow, that's the problem with Philly. But Fishtown's kind of cool. If you go there, you're invited. I'm inviting you to go. My son will give you the whole tour. And
I want to go with you anywhere.
no, you're going. You can go by yourself. My son.
Well, by the way,
if you go with me, you don't know where you're going, right?
By the way, Steven hangs out in Kensington.
No. No.
Steven is going to New York to watch the Giants.
Yeah.
So listen. I'm going to end with
Stefan would have gone to Philadelphia.
I don't know where.
But Steven ends up with the Jets.
Apparently, we're
Dolphins.
going to 2 different places. So So
you're going to watch Aaron Rodgers live. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I'm going to be rooting against him. I love it. Okay. Now, here's the thing. I
thought you would be in a dark room.
Well, here's what happened. This is why I'm confused. I just spoke to my Nico.
Oh, yes.
Nico and my stepdaughter, Dana. I said, I'm going to wear my Giants, paraphernalia. Oh, okay, good. Why am I wearing Giants?
But they're like, oh, okay, good.
The hell's where the old man's going cuckoo?
All right,
the old man's cuckoo. We'll just acknowledge.
Wait a minute. Did we fucking invite Biden?
I had a Biden moment, I guess. And they let me have it. I guess.
It was a Biden moment. They're like,
Oh man.
I have to. Steven's getting up there in years. He's had a few.
But Stefan's still cool. But
Stefan's got his shit together. You know what I'm saying? But Steven's hanging out in Kensington, so we got to worry about him.
I guess it's gonna be no Tommy DeVito.
No Tommy DeVito.
Oh man,
he might be making pizza for you there in the kitchen in the Giant Stadium.
Yeah, down the street. Yeah, maybe that we go like.
They might keep him back and let him make some pizzas there at the stadium.
Anyhow, I better get out of here before I end up going to like another stadium that I don't want.
Well, you got to fill us in finally on where you end up next Friday.
So it's like
next Thursday.
Where's Waldo?
Yeah.
Where's Stefan?
Where's Stefan?
Or
Steven?
Yeah,
right.
there's actually
Steven. Right.
About.
Steven ends up Steven ends up in the Jets game. Stefan ends up in the Eagles game.
No, I think.
By the way, you said your son's going?
No. My son lives in Philly.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with your son.
No, it has.
Of course. So then you are going to the Jets game.
I guess I'm going to the Jet game.
Because I misunderstood.
And they were just they were the
that your son was included in this.
No.
So then that's why I assume
my stepdaughter. Stepdaughter, yeah.
See, that's why I assumed Eagles.
It's
stepdaughter.
Is it Nico or Nico? I like Nico. Yeah, I like Nico. Yeah, I'm Nico.
It all depends.
It's Nico and Dana are taking me and my wife, who my wife's a great fan, and she knows her stuff. She'll tell you, Steve, this isn't right. This isn't. No, look at that quarterback. He's like she has these like incredible insight, and her son is fabulous in picks. Oh, one last thing, I'm bouncing all over the place.
Does she know where she's going?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm usually the guy that drives. No, she said, "Hey, we're going to the game up in the Meadowlands." I assumed it was the Giants, but anyhow, I just want to report one last thing. No, this is the last thing. You can't make this stuff up. I'm in a fantasy league with about 12 of my friends for like 20 years. First time ever, I get to the finals. The final game, right? 12 teams, 4 make it to the playoffs. It's the finals. Steve Calabro versus Steve Calabro. Father versus son.
Well, isn't it Steve versus Stefan?
No, Steve. No, my son is Steve-O. Right? So,
but is Stefan running?
No, Steve Areno. I call him Steve Areno.
Stefan running this last game, or Steven running this game?
Initially, it changes. So the game I'm watching, what the hell was the game? The Detroit Lion games. He has Jamar Gibbs. I got Kittle. There's 6 minutes left in the game. I'm winning 170 to 169. Wow. Gibbs gets a touchdown. I lose 5 minutes before the game ends. 178 to 171. Final game. That's a game. That's the reporting that we did pretty good in fantasy this year.
Nice.
Steve Calabro was going to win it anyway. Either way, somehow.
Right, somehow.
The young one or the old one. The one that's got the
Steve-O won.
Steve-O won it. Steve Areno won it.
Steve-O beat Steven. Not Stefan.
Not Stefan. No, if
Not
I had
Stefan.
one, Stefan would have won.
Stefan would have won. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I was
yeah.
asking who was running him, because I figured if Steven would have won, he would have screwed it up.
Yeah. Anyhow, I think we've confused.
Steven takes wrong turns. He ends up in Kensington.
Yeah, that's problematic. Yeah,
It's a
problematic.
problem.
Oh, the Pine Barrens. No, the Pine Barrens will. The Jersey Devils there. The Jersey Devils. I live near the Pine Barrens in New Jersey. Not too far, 10 miles.
Forget about it.
That's a good one. I like that. True Fins fan. But anyhow, it's going to be a good weekend. I'll report back next time as to where the hell I was and how the game went.
And by the way, True Fin fan is your Nico to the Bahamas.
Oh, yeah. To the ride to the Bimini. Yeah, we like True Fin fan.
There you go.
We like them.
All
right, boss.
You got it,
Thanks
baby.
a lot. I'll report
Appreciate
back
you.
next week.
You
All
got
right,
it.
take
Don't
care.
forget our $100 no regret first bet is there. Use the QR code. Make that bet. Get that $100 no regret first bet. Visit our friends out here at Hialeah Park. Yes, sir. All right. Be good, Steve. Appreciate you, man. All right. Let's see what we got here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Thank you all out there as always. Let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Sean Stanley, Alan Blanco, and the great people at 3A Graphics. If your company, your corporation, you need custom printing and embroidery, please reach out to my guy, Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. The Heat last night over the Pelicans. Fly, Pelican, fly. 119-108. Tyler Hero with 32 points, building up that trade value, baby. Tonight against the Pacers, 7:30 tip. Also, 7 o'clock tonight on the ice, the Hurricanes. They take on the Panthers. And Hurricanes are plus 105 in the money line. Our beloved Panthers are minus 125 on the money line. 4 p.m. today, Sugar Bowl. Going on right now, number 7 Notre Dame taking on Georgia. Do we have a score? 3-3. All right, we have tree is the score. I like it. And that's about it. Saturday, we've got the Brownies and the Ravens at 4:30, and at 8 o'clock, the Bengals and the Steelers. Dolphins, by the way, 4:25 on Sunday. Sean and myself will get you ready for the game starting at 2:25, 2 hours before the kickoff. The line opened on Monday, minus 2.5 Dolphins. Now it is minus 1 Dolphins, over and unders 39. Dolphins minus 115 on the money line. The Jets minus 105 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. Thank you all out there. Let's see. I watched the Big O show because they go is really smart, or Big O is really smart. His heart isn't smart. So when he thinks with his heart, he may get it wrong a few times. But when he thinks with his wits, bank on it. That's pretty good, Clyde Hyde. That's pretty good. I got to say, it's pretty accurate. Yeah. The heart doesn't do me well. But when I use my mind, you are correct. When I stay objective, yeah, you are correct, sir. When you're right, bro. What's crazy is that David Furones was the co-host when the blasphemy by Perk was committed. Good one, True Fin fan. It would be nice to have a QB sneak an option. Yeah, whatever, dude. I mean, it'd be great. But I don't. Okay, so when were the Dolphins a QB sneak away from making a deep run in the playoffs? Winning 13 games, winning a Super Bowl. That's nitpicking to nitpick. It's not a big deal. Yeah, you know what? Build a mammoth line, run the hell out of the ball, and you won't need to sneak anything, dude. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like you have to use him for a sneak every single time. Now, by the way, when you first drafted him, if you would have built the line, it would have been a running game, and he doesn't take all these extra concussions and all that, he would have been able to sneak. Now that he's taken all this stupid-ass hits for no reason at all, now it's a problem for it. He's created a bigger problem for himself in that sense. But again, not the end all be all. The Dolphins aren't a quarterback sneak away from being a great team. So you're reaching with that one. You don't need another edge. Even with Chop, we still need another edge. I think I read that one. Chop has actually done something for his rookie year. He's actually Chop has had a very good rookie year with nobody opposite of him. He's had a very good rookie year overall. Jets and Giants play in the same stadium. No, if that's so, then the Jets are home against the Dolphins. If so, Giants will be in Philly. Yeah, they are. It's just funny that Steve didn't know what stadium he was going, what game he was going to, actually.
Yeah, not only that, but wouldn't it be so like that? Just, the Giants, all right, you guys are done. Get off. Jets go next. Got the Jets and the Dolphins stretching in the hallway, waiting for the next game, looking all little leaguish. I
love it.
It is pretty bad, though, that he didn't know where he was going.
Yeah, no, that's hilarious. That's
imagine showing up to the airport and think you're going to. He's got a DeVito jersey packed and he's going to the Dolphins. That would be.
We ruined it, actually.
We ruined it. We did mess it up.
We ruined it.
Yeah.
Because it would have been great. It's like that person that shows up to the party. Yeah. It's a costume party. And then
you tell them it's a costume party.
You tell them it's a costume party. They show up and then it's like no costume party. Yeah.
He would have been there with DeVito on.
Like, yeah. He would have been there with the Tommy DeVito shirt. And it's like a Dolphins Jets game. And like they're looking at him like weird. I'm telling you. Let's see. What else do we have? Big O Tyreek also thinks with his head, just the wrong one. Chop has bailed out the second half. I like potential moving forward. So far, it seems like he's going to be a great pick. Yeah, he's looked really good, dude. The Chop pick looks really good so far. Okay, he's had a terrific year. Give him an actual player on the opposite side, and he actually might be better, which is scary. Okay. All right, let's do a little music news notes like we like to do on the show. Let me get to my show prep sheets here. Let's go first with musicians' birthdays today. Let's see. Damn. Glenn Gons, singer, guitars for Parliament Funkadelic. Born in this state in 1954. We lost him back in 1978 at the age of 24. Jesus, that's young. Richard Cole, former tour manager of Led Zeppelin from 68 to 80. Died in 2021 at the age of 75. He was born in this state in 1946. Chick Churchill, keyboard player from 10 years after, born in this date in 1942. What else? That is it for musicians born on this date. Let's go with other famous folk born on January 2nd. Let's see. Wasn't a big one for musicians. And so far, not Fernando Tatis Jr. is 26 years old today. Taye Diggs, movie actor, is 54. Bridget Williams, movie actress, is 18. Jilly Anais, she is 29. She is considered a pop singer. The only reason I know that name is because that is Watson's girlfriend or wife now or whatever. I don't know if Deshaun Watson married her or not. She's a smoke show, by the way. And yet he's banging everything else in sight. Let's see what else. Shelley Hennig, actress, is 38. Renee Elise Goldsberry, 54. Cuba Gooding Jr., 57. Dax Shepard, movie actor, is 50. Who else is celebrating birthdays today? Tia Carrera. She is 58. my age. Kate Bosworth, she is 42. Karina Smirnoff, the dancer, 47 years old. That is the famous folk celebrating birthdays. What do you got for me, Sean, when it comes to wrestlers? By the way, the other day when I did the show without you, Frankie Fresco came in clutch and gave us the wrestler's birthday. So
What are you filling in there, Frankie Fresco?
Thanks to
Appreciate
Frankie. That was very kind of him to help me out there.
Today it is referee Mickey J. He was born on this date. Sadly, we lost him in 2022. And Mutako Baba was born on this date in 1940. We lost him in 2018. Those are your wrestling birthdays for January 2nd, 2025.
Thank you, sir. All right. Let's do a little music history. What happened today in music history on January 2nd? We start in 1971. George Harrison's album All Things Must Pass started a 7-week run at number 1 on the album charts. The achievement made George the first Beatle to score number one solo record in America. In 1969, authorities in New Jersey seized the entire shipment of the John Lennon Yoko Ono albums Two Virgins because the cover featured a full frontal nude photograph of the singers. It was eventually sold in record stores wrapped in brown paper. In 1985, Rolling Stones' Ronnie Wood married his girlfriend Jo in Gerrard's Cross, Buckinghamshire, England. Guests included Keith Richards. Wow, he found his way there. Bill Wyman, Charlie Watts, Ringo Starr, Rod Stewart, and Jeff Beck. A little bit of talent there. In 1969, on this date, Led Zeppelin's first North American tour, the band played the first of 4 nights at Los Angeles famed Whiskey A Go-Go. They were billed as Led Zeppelin, featuring Jimmy Page, formerly of the Yardbirds. The opening act was the Alice Cooper Band. How cool is that, dude? You're at the Whiskey A Go-Go, and Alice Cooper opens up for Led Zeppelin in 1969. Ain't that some shit? In 1978, Ozzy Osbourne rejoined Black Sabbath 2 months after quitting the group. That's what happened today in music history. All right. Happy birthday to Isaac Asimov, one of the greatest science fiction writers. Jim Baker, Cuba Gooding Jr., David Cohn, and Tommy Morrison. Tommy Morrison. Wow, that's a blast from the past. How about that? Tommy Morrison. And Bitcoin flirting around 97,000. There you go. All right, folks, we thank all of you out there, as always, for tuning in and appreciate you supporting the show, however it is you support the show. By the way, Blue the Dragon, you send in a super chat. I forgot. Let me put it up here. Who would you prefer as the coach for the Dolphins? I am going to answer the question because you sent in a super chat, but I've already answered that question after the Colts loss. I said Mike Vrabel, okay? But as I've said before, that's what I want. It doesn't really matter. They're not making any coaching changes, so it's a moot point. And Mike Vrabel isn't coming here anyway, so it is what it is. Thank you. But it doesn't matter talking about GMs or coaches until they really decide to make a change. Then we'll talk about it. But I'm not going to waste my time throwing out names and talking about how much I like this guy or that guy, what he can do and what. None of it matters. None of it matters. So I appreciate it. Please hit the like button before you go. Please hit the notification bell. That way you know when we go live. We will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. We'll be in studio tomorrow, right? In studio tomorrow, 10 a.m. Same time, same place. Oh, and by the way, thank you to the Brunetti family, of course, and Mr. Steve Calabro and everybody out here making it nice and easy for us to broadcast every single Thursday out here. See you guys tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Same time, same place, same bat channel.